Fellow Falcoholics, what is up? Welcome to another preseason watch party here on the Falcoholic Live presented by FanDuel. I am, of course, your host, Kevin. I'm joined by my co-host, Adnan Ikic. We missed you last week, Adnan, but pretty good excuse because we had a very special birthday for Adnan. I don't know if it was very special. I hope it was a fun birthday, but happy
Well,
to
it
have
was
you back. Yeah.
it was cool. It was definitely a milestone one, but I'm not going to reveal which milestone one it was.
Yes. All right, then. Keep your secrets. So, no, I had a lovely birthday, I'm sure, and we had a fun. That the game was actually much better last week, so it was actually okay to be alone for that one because it was like, wow, I can't believe the Falcons are winning in a preseason game. It's crazy stuff. But yeah,
I
guys, yeah.
did keep up with the Jack strain.
Good, because I'm sure that will be the main topic of tonight's show, especially in the second half. We'll be making sure the Jack Strand hype is just out of control as much as possible. That is our job on this program, if nothing else, to just hype up Jack Strand as much as we can. But we got a lot going on tonight. Tua Tagovailoa going to be probably fighting for his job tonight. He probably has to make a positive statement to kind of get back in here. I mean, we'll see. But yeah, I mean, Adna, what are you hoping to see tonight from these Falcons? Because the opponent and the Dolphins, not necessarily the most intimidating, but the Falcons also have traditionally, sucked in the preseason. So, what are you hoping to see tonight?
I mean, more than anything, I'm hoping to see the team dominate because I haven't kept up with the defense, what the Dolphins' defensive injury report is, but they're apparently keeping out a lot of players, a lot of key players from their offense, including starting quarterback Malik Willis, even backup quarterback. Even their backup quarterback is being held out in this game as well. Quinn Ewers, former University of Texas standout Quinn Ewers, and there's going to be no Devon Achane. I don't know if they're doing it with the defense as well. We'll find out here in a minute, but it would be a really bad look if the Dolphins off like second string offense had their way with the Falcons defense, or even if it looked, 50-50. It wouldn't look so good if the Dolphins starters were in there and they were giving the Falcons defense the business because the Dolphins team in general isn't supposed to be very good this year. I think even their coach came out, I think today, and said, "Hey, we're actually just playing for development this year," which is a fair statement
It's
because
honesty. Yeah.
it's honesty. It honestly kind of would have been refreshing had we heard some of that from Arthur Smith in those first couple of years instead of being like, "Oh yeah, we're going to win," and it's like we're not going to win. We have Marcus Mariota as our starting quarterback. We have Desmond Ritter as our starting quarterback. Who are you lying to right now? That's neither here nor there. But the Dolphins also have like $100 million in dead cap, 55 of which is going to Tua Tagovailoa, who's starting against them on the other end. And yeah, speaking of Tua, he needs he really needs to put on a good showing for the Falcons today because behind him, the narrative of Tua Tagovailoa with the Falcons, the pendulum has swung so hard in the other direction compared to the lead up before that first preseason game where the Falcon starters were announced that they were going to play, where it went from, yeah, Tua is the de facto QB1 out there. It's going to be, his team to start the season, to now you have people talking about, yeah, well, are they going to cut Tua? Is he even going to make the roster? Which I don't think they would cut a player making the bare minimum that he can possibly make, especially at a position this valuable. I think that's definitely an overreaction. However, the fact that that's even being brought up and discussed seriously tells you everything you need to know about the Tua Tagovailoa experience the last couple of weeks. He, more than anyone, desperately needs to put on a good showing tonight. And then, of course, our beloved Jack Strand, who, is he the new Kurt Warner? Is he the new Tony Romo? Maybe. Probably not, but maybe. That's not outside the realm of possibility. So definitely the Jack Strand hype train is is in full gear right now, and I'm hoping that train gets even more momentum, even more coal into the engine tonight.
I hope so. We'll see. It looks like the Falcons' defense is going to be on the field first. Adnan is like ahead of me because I'm having to watch this through streaming. They didn't put the Falcons in any primetime spots here in the preseason. Quite the slander. But so I'll be kind of giving you guys a little bit of the not play-by-play. We'll talk about some plays here and there, and Adnan's gonna silo up his takes. So Adnan's gonna have some time to prepare the takes ahead of time. So really, we're gonna be judging harshly those takes.
The Falcons are already down 7-0. So
okay.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, and the game is already over. It's been
the game is already finished.
Oh, and it's gone. Yeah. But yeah, looks like I am about to get the Nick Folk kickoff. And speaking of Nick Folk, was tremendous on kickoffs last week. Had I think every single one inside the 5, and the coverage was also nice. I mean, the special teams, the great special teams that we saw on the first preseason game, which was the only good thing we saw in that game, has carried over to the rest of the preseason so far. We'll see if that continues tonight against the Dolphins.
Yeah, I mean, look, the special teams has been the one aspect of this team that I'm more excited about than I was last season, just because they have been tremendous. They have genuinely been tremendous, and I have no further notes for the special teams. They were incredible last game. I delved deep into the stats just because it was the only silver lining. And, shout out to Stefanski and the new special teams coach. And, they've done a hell of a job coaching these boys up and really bringing in proper chess pieces for that part of the defense.
Yeah, and it was Jalen Reagor on the kickoff. Gets it to about the 30, but some kind of penalty. Yeah, so it gets pushed back, it looks like, to just around the 25. So Dolphins offense on the field now. And we will see here. Looks like it's most, if not all, of the Falcons starters out here. Looks like A.J. Terrell involved on the tackle of exciting Dolphins rookie Chris Bell, who himself is recovering from an ACL tear. So nice little tackle there by A.J. Terrell as we get things rolling here. But yeah, an opportunity here for the Falcons defense, hopefully to do some good things. I know Malik Willis isn't playing in this game, but I don't know enough. I'm going to be honest. I don't know enough about the Dolphins to even know if they're playing any starters. So, yeah.
This is their third stringer. They're rolling out there with Cam Miller.
So they don't give any Fs about this. So they're. I mean, this is really more of a middle finger to the Falcons, because it's how are we supposed to get any useful information out of this game if you're just gonna throw out your third stringers in the third? I mean, it's not your. I feel like you're doing your guys a disservice, but we can only go off of what we have in front of us. So
it's not great, but they did get a nice little stop. So nice stop on second. It was Ebukam and Mason Smith. I'm gonna try not to we're not doing this play.
No, yeah.
But it was a nice little recovery.
Yeah. No, that was a nice little. That was a good run stuff there. Love to see that. And then it looks like another penalty on the Dolphins here already. So a lot of laundry on the field to start this one.
It's so funny because it seems like Jeff Wilbrick is. It looks like he's going to kind of send the dogs out a little bit, just because you can't be as vanilla with this being the dress rehearsal game. So it's poor Cam Miller, man. He's really staring down the teeth.
It's you're gonna throw this man out here like this, man. That's not.
He's staring down the teeth of maybe the second most blitz happy defensive coordinator in the NFL.
Yeah. So yeah. Not. Yeah. I mean, not surprising, but I mean, the Falcons defense was basically dominating the front of the Dolphins, which they should do. So, don't necessarily stop the presses here, but breaking news, the Falcons, starting defense does absolutely destroy the Dolphins' depth. So, we can cross that off the list of nightmares that we don't have to suffer through at this stage, I think. But yeah, some nice pressure. I mean, you like to see it. One thing I noticed on the kickoff is we have a punt here. Looks like it's gonna be Zachariah Branch returning, so that's exciting. Nice little punt return there by Zach Branch. But Nick Muse on all of the special teams plays so far, and that's a guy I think really competing for the roster as the fourth tight end. Kind of a meteoric rise for him because this was like a mid-training camp addition, and for him to already to be on the starting special teams, I mean that's a big step for him. So congratulations to him. It seems like,
especially at this point in the preseason, like if you're out there at this point, you're probably being looked at as and actually evaluated out there.
Yeah.
Just because this is the dress rehearsal game, mine is Bijan Robinson. Bijan is not out there.
No, I imagine I couldn't do that. So and Tua does have a completion, first down completion. So good for him.
You don't want to be careful, Kevin. You can't be doing this every play.
No. I mean, I don't know. I feel like the special teams play there was enough time in between, but yeah, that's a good point. We got to be careful. So
no, we got to be careful about which plays we discuss directly and talk about directly.
Yeah, I mean, what if I just don't say what down and distance it is? It can't technically be a play-by-play then, right? Like, I don't know what the stipulations are, but as we get this offensive drive rolling.
Yeah, I mean, hey man, I love it. Jawan Taylor is out there, and this hasn't hit your screen yet. It's not like a big thing. He did that thing where he always does it with the Chiefs, where he starts moving prematurely.
That's his thing, man.
They never call that.
No, they don't.
Here,
yeah. They he's not going to get away with that very much longer. So I hope he can. I don't know why he feels the need to do that, especially in this scenario where it's like, bro, it's like the Dolphins. I mean, I don't know if they're playing their backup defense, but I mean, you don't need to. Why are you afraid of the Dolphins pass rush? Like, you need to calm down. So, not a great start there. So we will.
I mean,
see.
The thing is, he can't do that. Like, he
no,
needs
you
to
just stop doing that.
Because he wasn't allowed to do that in Kansas City, but they just never called it because it's Kansas City. It's a bad habit, and I'm seeing him do it like a couple times already.
Yeah, I agree. It's just, you gotta learn to be better than that. I'm sure Bill Callahan's gonna be all over him about that particular one. So,
and I mean, in fairness to Taylor, he's he hasn't been out there very much in camp. This is, I think, the first time we're seeing him in live action.
Yeah, good to see him out there for the record. Like I'm glad he's on the field. Although I will say, like, Ethan Onyema last week, and Gerald too, like, to his credit, like, Onyema was awesome against the Colts after a really, really tough, like, first outing against the Broncos. And, the two horse teams in terms of the quality of defense, very different, but still nice to see. Certainly glad as we see a lovely play here from Kyle Pitts, just kind of sneaking around the outside on a little, great blocks too. Yeah.
Great blocking, great screen pass, but man, I can't tell if that was really good offense or just really bad defense. Because
sometimes it's both.
He had no business finding that little corner to the outside.
That safety the safety took a terrible angle. So
the worst angle.
Yeah, he was like, I'm gonna undercut this. It's like, are you?
But that's the danger. That's the danger of a game like this, where sometimes it is a little bit of fool's gold, because some of these Dolphins players out there may not even make the roster.
Yeah, I mean, it's like David Njoku's out there, right? So I mean, I don't know. Maybe some of these guys are starters.
They have some guys out there. They have some. They
really
have a
gay
out there.
I mean, honestly, I don't mean this. Maybe this is the Dolphins starting to. It's like it is just a bunch of guys that are probably backups elsewhere. It's like, oh, I can't tell if it's this. I don't know. Maybe we're being too mean to the Dolphins.
Fair.
Sorry, Dolphins
How
fans.
much of a drop off is there between the Dolphins starters and backups? Like that Dolphins defense has been bad for as long as I can remember. I think back in like when they won that division in 2008 when the Falcons were, also had their come worst to first season in the NFC South. Like they had a really good defense then with I think Brian Sperano as their head coach, and I just can't remember Dolphins teams having good defenses, like just in general over the last decade.
They've certainly had some great defensive players. Cam Wake, incredible.
Bradley Chubb, like they were.
I don't know why we got to stop it there.
Were, like, the sum of the parts was just not always there. That 2008 season, by the way, I remember. It's that like wild card year or wildcat year where they like had Ronnie Brown the Wildcat. It was so funny to me because I think teams just sort of realized they were so caught off guard at first, and he had like the 3-4 touchdowns against the Patriots, and then coaches were like, "Oh wait, they're just gonna run the ball if it's the Wildcat." It's like, why are we so worried about this?
Yep, the Franks tank just didn't get enough love. I mean, let's be honest. Like Tua had that tight end leak, and he just didn't throw it. That was a bad play by him. That tight end leak was open, and he just didn't let it go. Don't know what to say. No, I think Hooper. I think Hooper had that. I think Tua puts that in front of Hooper. He can get in. So, he's a tight end, man. I think if Tua puts that on Hooper right when he should, I don't know if he scores, but he probably gets down to like the 1-inch line or something like that. I think that was open enough to toss that. And it's a pretty easy touchdown run there for they were just like, let's dispense with the passing game inside the 3 here. Let's just punch this thing in as Brian Robinson gets it for the touchdown. So
Brian Robinson gets it in. This is less about the play, honestly. Great touchdown. I'm speculating and I'm thinking, how are the Falcons going to deploy those running backs in the red zone this year? Because remember last year, Tyler Algier was a pesky touchdown vulture for people that had Bijan Robinson in fantasy football. I'm not that the Falcons care about it, but enough people care with the fantasy drafts underway. And we just sort of don't know what they're going to do with the running backs. Like, are they going to feed Bijan inside the 5? Or is Brian Robinson, who's, been that – he was that short yardage back in Washington under Dan Quinn, is he going to be the guy that they sort of put in there more often than not when you do get down to the 2-3 yard line? Then is he going to be, the touchdown vulture? I saw it on Friday Night Lights. They did that one time during that practice where the Lightning interfered, where they took Bijan out, put in Brian Robinson, and he scored. I think a lot of people are just assuming that, oh no, Algier's gone, Bijan's gonna go through the roof touchdown. I don't know if that's gonna be the case. I think Brian Robinson is gonna have a part to play in sort of the short yardage stuff a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's very possible that we see that. I don't really think it's going to affect Bijan's fantasy production really, but I suspect Brian Robinson will have a similar role to Tyler Algier, and that's kind of just where I think we are. I think that real quick before the game comes back on, guys, let me get you some real quick odds from our sponsors over at FanDuel. As if you're gonna buy in to Falcons hype, okay, this is the time to buy in when everyone thinks the team sucks. Maybe they do suck. We'll see. A lot of games to play. We're still not even out of the preseason yet. But right now, Atlanta plus 240 to make the playoffs in the NFC. According to FanDuel, they are second to last in the NFC South. The Panthers still behind them. The New Orleans Saints just barely ahead of them. And the Buccaneers are the heavy favorite right now in those odds. But if you think it's going to be the Falcons emerging from this dung pile that is the NFC South, then you double your money and some if you're happen to be right about that. It would of course be the first time they've made the playoffs in 8 seasons, so just realize nine now. But
2017, so I think it's a full decade actually.
Yeah. So hey, just saying, that's the odds. Plus 240 Falcons make the playoffs. If you're high on them, you're probably not going to get a better opportunity to do so with odds like that. But, yeah, I see Brian. I don't know if Brian Robinson always wore the do-rag. I wonder if, that's Penix, rubbing off on guys. Like, this isn't a bad idea. Penix is always keeping his hair hidden. It's like his persona or something. He's like, oh, yeah, I don't really, wear this, otherwise. I just wear it, every time I'm doing football stuff, I wear it, So I wonder if I don't remember Brian Robinson wearing it, but yeah.
But speaking of things Brian Robinson is wearing, the number 15 is I just don't know if I can get used to that on a running back.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Just a little weird.
A little weird, I agree. Also wanted to note the second blocking tight end on that red zone, the goal line run was Nick Muse. So just letting people know. I think Nick Muse might be making the roster on as a fourth tight end. That's kind of the takeaway I have here. So, we'll see. We'll see. Something to monitor for sure. Might have to adjust my roster projection, which I'm probably going to record right after this game because, in case you guys don't know, roster cuts are on Sunday now. They are on Sunday afternoon instead of Tuesday. So there's not a lot of time for me to prognosticate or think about this. I kind of just have to go right after this game so you guys have a chance to actually see the roster projection before they start cutting guys. So Falcons keeping their starters out here once again. Really nice catch there. Well, some of their starters, I guess. Really nice catch there, though, by Jalen Tolbert. Looked like C.J. Henderson had good coverage. Just a lovely leaping grab there.
Yeah, Jalen Tolbert, former, I think, Carolina Panther, so an old friend within the division. I guess a guy who's trying to stick around. Fifth-year man out of South Alabama. Hell of a catch. You just got to tip your cap.
Nice yeah.
Not the worst throw, but the catch
was a solid throw too.
Yeah, the catch was really good. That was really contested. I won't lie. It's I saw the number 1. And for a second, my brain went, is that Tua out there?
This Tua's out there catching passes.
Is Tua playing both sides of the field right now?
Right. But yeah, we get a nice sack there from Cam Thomas as well, who just
I don't think it registers. Well, does it register?
I don't know. I thought it was still behind the line of scrimmage, but maybe not. Maybe not. Oh, no, I think it was a 3-yard loss, so it was a sack.
It was. That did not look like it was that far behind the line.
No, I agree. I thought it was going to be like a 1-yard loss, but
no, the Dolphins got shortchanged there. There's no way that was 3 yards.
Yeah,
I thought for a second that he gained a yard. I'm like, well, sucks. Cam Thomas is not getting the yard.
Yeah,
but maybe the line of scrimmage just isn't lined up too well on the TV either.
Could be. Yeah, the I will say, the score bug looks a little amateurish. Let's be honest here. So. Not sure how well the operations are going for this preseason game. Not trying to say anything, just saying a little bit. It looks a little, like maybe it could be done better. But yeah, you could tell that the Dolphins quarterback wants to take off and run. Because I saw on that previous play, he just was immediately trying to get out there as Falcons defense allows a big third down completion, Adnan. So
not great. It seemed like a basic route by Bell. Like a basic there. And he just victimized C.J. Henderson. He just got away from C.J. Henderson. So despite the fact that he had solid coverage on the first one, Henderson's given up a couple of big plays here. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Watts probably needed to crash a little harder on that one. But, was a good throw by the Dolphins quarterback there. Big completion.
Yeah, I mean, hey, good for Bell, man. Or not Bell, good for Moore there. I mean, he's making the best out of a bad situation for himself. Or not Moore, Cam Miller. out of North Dakota State. He's also fighting for his own roster spot. And you just got to do what you can do. I think it helps that the Falcons seem to have taken out a lot of the starters for
Yeah,
the most
no, I
part.
think they've more or less rotated everybody out now, except I think Divine Diablo is playing, but that makes sense because he didn't play in the first one, so they're probably trying to get him a few more snaps. Braylon Trice getting almost a pick there too by DeMarco Helms, but nice Braylon Trice pressure. Hadn't seen him at all this preseason, so glad to see him back out there.
No, I haven't seen Braylon Trice since he got drafted, technically.
Technically, he played in the preseason last year, right? So
He did. I mean, we've seen him in camp in the preseason, but nothing official.
Yeah. That was impressive. Like, Braylon Trice is so big, I kind of feel like, he's probably going, like, defensive tackle speed, but he was closing on Miller, so, like, he's got a little scoot to him. So good for nice to see Braylon Trice.
DeMarco Helms, man, he's had a couple of big hits back to back.
Oh yeah, maybe a possible fumble there, but I guess they're calling it incomplete. But yeah, man, he just leveled Chris Bell. Woof.
Yeah, that was incomplete. Yeah. Chris Bell did not look like he enjoyed that.
No, his hand got hurt, I think. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that was. I think it was a combo. We'll call it a combo. It looked like Mike Hughes got the peanut punch in there, and then Helms made sure that ball was not going to be recovered. That was, and like also no friendly fire on that too, because that can happen sometimes. You'll see these guys get the friendly fire. Dolphins attempting a super long field goal here. Well, no, actually it's at the 29, so it's not that crazy long. Never mind.
Yeah, well, former Falcons kicker Riley Patterson.
Oh, that's right, Riley Patterson back. So good for him.
Yeah, Riley, as long as you don't ask Riley Patterson to kick it further than like 40 yards, he'll be automatic.
It does look like we're going to get Tua again, so we will see how that goes as we
can't really evaluate Tua off that first drive. He had a screen pass to Pitts, and then not much else.
Yeah, I mean, that was fine. Like I thought again that was like fine. I mean, the biggest issue to me was like I think Tua had Austin. I mean, I'll have to watch the replay. I know some people in the chat said, that maybe Hooper wasn't open there. So I'll give Tua the slight benefit of the doubt. I'll see it on replay, but I think he could have had Hooper there if he was decisive with that throw. And again, maybe he doesn't score, but if he gets it down to the 1 inch line, I mean, you're just going to punch it in. So I feel like that would work too. But yeah, we just need to see Tua like do something interesting here to keep himself afloat. And like at the very worst, like if he plays well, even if like the Falcons just want to start Penix, maybe they do. I mean, who knows? We've heard so many different things over the last few days. Maybe it is like a trade value thing. Like he's like, oh yeah, I would like it would help him certainly if someone is looking for, I don't know, a spot starter or their own guy, I mean, I don't know. Like him looking good is a good thing, Falcons fans. Like I don't want Tua to look bad. I'm sure some people are rooting for his downfall or whatever, and I guess that's your choice. I think I want everyone to look good. I want every Falcons player to look. I think it only helps the Falcons if Tua looks good tonight. So, like it's not a bad thing if he starts looking better. Like to me, it's a good problem to have where now you've got, maybe he can do something for us. So we'll see.
Yeah, it would be a boon for the Falcons if they can maybe get something for Tua if they decide that they're not going to, move forward with him as a starter to start the season. I mean, anything you get in a potential trade from maybe a desperate team where their quarterback possibly suffers an injury, they need someone to carry the baton for a few weeks. I mean, that's just a sheer bonus in that scenario. Like, imagine you get like a 5th or a 6th for Tua. You didn't give anything for him.
Yeah, would love it. Would love that. Yeah.
He would be very cheap for any team buying him too, or like trading from too, because he's a minimum contract from their perspective.
Yeah. All right, we got another return. A terrible kickoff. That had to be shanked, I'm guessing. That was a crazy bad kickoff. That went out and bounced at like the 20. So pretty. You look upset, Adnan, so I'm guessing I'll see, what's going on with that here in a minute. So.
Look,
right.
I'm not even gonna say anything.
I'm not. You just let me live it, okay? Let me feel the disgust for myself, and we'll go from there. Okie dokie. Falcons starting their second offensive drive now, and I think Tua's cooked, Adnan. I think that
no
probably ended it. That was
There's
probably
no
it.
way. It happened in the first preseason game. It
Was
happened during.
How was the
Friday,
snap though? Was it the center's fault? Like, I need the replay before I'm gonna completely bury him. But still, like, yeah.
I mean, come on. You're just taking it from him. It's like, it's not even a shotgun snap. You're just under center. He's just handing you the ball. No, you can't. That can't happen. That genuinely can't happen. Like, we're at the point where this. I didn't even say anything a couple weeks ago because it's like, okay, it happens. Jitters, first time. This is the third or fourth time this has happened where he just like can't hold on to the snap. It's like, it's just a fumbled snap. This is a chronic thing at this point. Big issue, huge issue. And yeah, you can't.
And it's a lost fumble too. Like, yeah.
Completely lost fumble. This is the first. You can't have this happen for your QB1. Like, imagine this happens once a game. This has been happening once a game.
Yeah,
like, you're giving away possession.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least a down for no reason.
Much better coverage there from C.J. Henderson, though. We're gonna go back to Tua. Trust me, we got all night to bury this hatchet. Much better coverage there from C.J. Henderson. That's the one thing I'll give him. He gave up those 2 catches. He doesn't get like grabby. Like, he's just playing the ball. Like, I thought that was good coverage. I know the receiver won. I think they're both fighting for the ball, and I thought that was pretty good coverage. I would have loved to see him like flip around and make because I think he had a shot maybe at the pick if he gets his hands up. But Dave says 2 and over, so it's like a Tua turnover. So keep working on that, Dave. It's a good attempt. It's a good attempt.
We got to workshop that a little bit.
I don't think we're gonna need to workshop it because I think that seals it. Honestly, Adnan, like, that was probably the one thing he could not do was fumble another damn snap. Like, I mean,
honestly, I think it would have been better for him to throw an interception.
Yes, I agree. Like, especially, I love Avian on Twitter showing the Penix Tua gif, putting that out there. So, yeah, I mean, that was the one thing he couldn't do. He could not fumble a snap again. He just couldn't do it. And yeah, woof.
It may be so over right now.
I think it's over.
We may be realizing in real time that it's so over.
Yep. Some people are like, no, it's actually Jack Strand time. It's like, okay.
If it's Jack Strand time, then we're so back.
Yeah.
I'm actually making a meme as we speak.
Okay, good. I'll let you meme it. I wanted to get. I was waiting to see if we would get a play that would justify this super chat. So I was holding off on your super chat, Tyler Sunderman. I appreciate the $5 super chat. And yes, now we have found the right moment. Tyler Sunderman says Tua plays like Ricky Bobby after that bad wreck. Oh gosh. Yeah, I know exactly what scene you're talking about. I love that movie.
Ricky Bobby, shake and bake.
Shake and bake. Yeah, shake and bake. I would love for the Falcons to get a shake and bake like combo of players.
I was gonna say nothing's shaking for the Falcons right now, unfortunately. Well, not for Tua at the very least, but that was a very, I don't know, man. Like you said, the one thing that he could not do. And I'm sure it's been on his mind too. You cannot fumble the snap in this game. There's too much going on in the media after the Colts practice, after Friday Night Lights, after the last game against the Broncos. It's way too much has happened with this specific thing for you to allow this to happen again on the second drive, no less.
Yeah, this is
I
like
think
the one thing. I agree. I agree with you. Yeah.
like you. I don't think you're wrong. I think this may have sealed it.
I think so. I mean, it really like hurts me because I'd never like met Tua or like gone to any events with Tua or anything previously. And like when he arrived in like seeing him in Flowery Branch and like talking to him, like he's such an easy guy to root for. Like I want to be a Tua fan. Like I want to be excited for him. And like I think we all felt like, hey, maybe this could be just a solid bridge option if Penix, because like I mean we weren't sure like if Penix would be ready for week 1. I guess we're still not 100% sure. It certainly seems like he's on target for that now, but like just man, like it could not have possibly gone worse. I mean, we'll see if he gets more opportunities in this game, but I kind of feel like it doesn't really matter at this point. Like, this was the one. Like, Penix can't get hurt again. That's his one thing he can't do. Tua can't fumble the snap, and you fumble the snap again. I mean, man, that's rough. That's rough. It's still not a bad move for the record. Some people are like, "Oh, I actually thought this would be a good move." Like, it was a worthy gamble, regardless of what happened. Like, if Tua was a backup, if Tua was nothing at all, if Tua was a starter. 1.3 million or whatever it was to bring Tua in here. Well worth, I think, the
It's super worth the gamble for sure.
You know, just
I don't think there's any regret behind it. But yeah, that was
near pick there by the Falcons defense too. Yeah.
But yeah, near pick, it looks like Helms should have had that.
Yeah,
I think
Helms and Hughes both went for it. They're like, sorry, I fucked you.
We just talked last time about how there was no friendly fire. There was friendly fire there, though.
There was a little bit of friendly fire there.
Yeah, and because Helms had that, and honestly, if Hughes isn't anywhere in the vicinity, Helms may be running that back for major yardage, maybe even all the way. And I can see Helms as why he's so distraught there.
Yeah. No, I mean, so now Riley Patterson has to hit more than a 50-yard field goal. We'll see how that goes. Oh my God, I think the Falcons blocked it.
Yeah, Chris Williams.
Oh, nice, good, nice play there by Chris Williams. He's right in contention there for the roster as well. I think Carlos Allen made things a little more interesting. Excuse me, in that defensive tackle room with his great game last week, but the veteran showing some special teams acumen there. Oh, nice. Did you see? Because we were on for the like the first game with where this play happened, but I feel like we didn't notice it live, and like on that blocked field goal or like the field goal that the Broncos like didn't get, like James Pierce Jr. like cleanly leapt over the entire. Yeah, he cleanly leapt over the entire line and just landed on his feet. And the holder just panicked. Like he was like, "Oh my God!" It just like started running. That was maybe the funniest special teams play I've ever seen in my life. Because, I mean, the holder was just so flabbergasted that by the time he got the ball, like Pierce was like on his feet, like 3 feet away from him, and he was just like he just started running. It's like, I mean, I would do the same thing if I were him. But that was one of the most hilarious plays I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's one of those where it was too effective. He did it too quickly to the point where the holder panicked. And I think that sort of victimized Pierce a little bit because, I mean, the Falcons, most important thing, they stopped it. But he didn't get credit for the block.
Yeah. He didn't get it. Yeah. It was just
he's the one that made that happen. It's one of those rare scenarios, where you do something too effectively.
Because the holder like normally would just put the ball down and then he would have gotten tackled by Pierce and it would have been a block, or I mean probably like the ball would have come loose and maybe the Falcons get a return or something. But
yeah,
it was like he was so unused to that situation where he's just like the defender's just like 3 feet away from him, like by the time the ball gets to him. And hilarious play. Really enjoyed that. That was probably the best play from that first preseason game. But
I think Tua may still be out there. Actually, he fumbles the snap again.
Does he? Did he actually fumble? No. Yeah.
I'm just saying,
imagine.
At that point, I think Stefanski is going to go out there himself and just rip off his helmet.
He's like, sit down. Yeah.
It'll be like a movie scene. He just turns to Jack Strand as if he's Matt Saracen in Friday Night Lights. Get in there.
Get in there. Yep.
Do it for Coach.
We're revoking your starting privileges. Give your helmet to Jack Strand. Jack Strand's head's like way bigger than mine. It's like, no, give him your helmet. Give him your helmet. I don't care that it doesn't fit. It's symbolic. All right, Tua going to get another opportunity here. Fumble doesn't turn into any points for the Dolphins. It looks like a play action and nice little yards after catch there from for Brian Robinson. So nice to see that.
It's they're giving Tua some very easy completions.
Just like, let's just get out of here without any more embarrassment. Why can't you be normal?
I think the coaching staff also sort of realizes it a little bit, where if they let him do something extreme here, it could just result in a full-on implosion. And then you got to, again, deal with everything you've been dealing with from a media perspective.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's been some game management from Tua.
Yeah. And, like his throw to Pitts, that was, like, a good read. Like, I mean, to give him credit, like, that was a good read and a nicely designed play, too. Pitts just, like, sort of, like, tiptoed over a guy and, yeah, just a simple little over route, or not quite an over route, but over would be a lot deeper. But, yeah, I mean, just a nice little short crosser there from Pitts, who was lined up as, like, the Y tight end, essentially, and just kind of, like, jumps, over a guy, gets some great yardage. So, I feel like that's going to be the biggest difference, like, for Kyle Pitts, is that they're just going to give him, like, layup targets like that. Like, did we see a layup target like that, like, even once last year for Kyle Pitts that wasn't like a screen or like something really silly like that, where it was like, oh yeah, we're going to make Kyle Pitts run a tight end screen and that's like the easiest catch we're going to give you. Like, just like a little short crosser. Like, get him moving, let him use his speed, let him use his yards after catch. Like, I feel like we just never, like, such an easy play to mix in, and they just, like, I don't know what it was with Zach Robinson and using the tight ends. He just, like, he begrudgingly used Kyle Pitts, but like everybody else, he just was like, nah, we're never gonna throw it to you. So don't even pretend that you're gonna be a pass catcher. So,
I mean, with Kyle Pitts, look, I do think there are some factors with Kyle Pitts where he didn't really do himself any favors. However, I do think it is fair to say that the coach, he's been sort of ill-used in his career, and honestly, Zach Robinson inherited him. I get it. Some people don't really, value the tight end as much, even in Los Angeles. I mean, sure, I think there's like a Terrence Ferguson revolution going on in fantasy football drafts right now. But, even the Sean McVay led, which we always reference McVay because Robinson came from that tree. He's never really been a huge, like, tight end guy. Despite the fact that Tyler Higbee is like a solid type guy, but no tight end for the Rams has ever been like a game breaker.
Yeah.
The person that's really sort of even more befuddling to me is Arthur Smith, because you're the one that drafted this guy in the top 5. You're the one that, is the tight ends coach, background as a tight ends coach. You're this tight ends guru. Yeah, by all sort of, oh, that's not good.
What?
Didn't even see that. I'm just seeing it in the replay. But, like, by all... Look, I'm going to stop my monologue for a second, and I'm not going to keep you in suspense. It's another couple. It's not two of this, but it is another.
It's another phone.
It's Brian Robinson. He puts the ball on the ground there, which is not great. Not great.
Nope, certainly not.
Yeah, hey, you know what? Let's go full balls to the walls. Jack Strand and Tyler Goodson are our starting back this year.
That's right. Tyler Goodson's taking over running back too. So this is what the preseason's for, all right? Yeah. So
yeah, we'll go with we'll go with the beloved fan favorites from preseason right now, and just sort of vibe with them. But yeah, it's I will say I do blame Arthur Smith a lot for the misuse of Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, certainly do. Stefanski, understandably upset with the operational issues here for the Falcons offense. 2 turnovers, 2 false starts for Jawan Taylor too. So maybe we can just maybe he can just false start like 10 times in this game and just get them all out of the way like early. So we'll see how that goes.
I don't think that's how that works, unfortunately.
Yeah. You sure? Because like I feel like if you just go ahead, like get him out of your system, maybe that could be fine.
I mean, maybe we should have been getting it out of the system.
Maybe.
In the former preseasons, and then we wouldn't have had so many operational issues in week 1. But
Yep.
Who would have known that? Who was the one saying that? Time in and time out every single season at around.
Who
this
among
time
us? Yeah.
Who among
especially
us
this time of year? Yeah.
Who among us was leading that revolution?
Yep.
And arguing with all the Falcons fans that just rubber stamp any decision the team makes and says how it's the best possible thing.
Yep. Yeah, no, don't not familiar with any teams that do that. No, never heard of any of those. So, yeah, good to see Braylon Trice. Braylon Trice been out there quite a bit. Good to see him.
Yeah, it's good for him to get his reps in.
Yep.
For before the season, he after all hasn't really played much lately. I mean, he was hurt. He had the non-contact jersey, and he missed the last preseason game, the last couple of preseason games. Look, man. All I'm gonna say is I just can't wait for some Jack Strand time.
Yeah,
that's the guy. It's the Toy Story meme. We're done playing with you, Tua.
I don't want to play with you anymore.
We're Bonnie from Toy Story right now. We have the little iPad out as all the toys are in the garage right now.
Yep. Looks like Miller hurt maybe for the Dolphins there. Maybe hopefully he's okay. He's able to get up, but yeah, he looked as Braylon Trice and I think it was that Kendall Daniels? I can't remember. I couldn't see who the linebacker was, but they smashed. Yeah, he's hurt. Looks like, unfortunately, smashed Miller there as he was trying to scramble for the first down. I feel like Harold Perkins probably could have got up a little bit faster and got that sack. I feel like he thought it was good and kind of just didn't jump up. But yeah, still a good pass rush there by Harold Perkins on the blitz. But yeah, just you gotta get back on your feet because these quarterbacks are wily in the NFL. They're going to get away from that sometimes.
Yeah, it's look, man, that's got to be one of the. It's got to. I know it's the most lucrative position in all of sports, but I've said it before. I think you have to be just a little bit, sort of, psychotic, and I don't mean that, and I mean this in the most loving, respectful, in awe way possible. But you have to be a little bit of a psychopath to play quarterback, especially to make it to this level. Just because, look, man, the sacks that a quarterback takes are just a small percentage of the hits he actually takes over the course of a given game. We don't really track. I mean, we have QB hits, but we don't really track it when you have 5 blockers and then, the defensive coordinator sends a zero blitz of 6 or 7 men to go after that quarterback, where the quarterback knows he's going to get absolutely pummeled and he still has to make that throw. We don't really look at that and put that down on the stat sheet. It'll be oh, he got sacked twice this game. He probably got hit by a guy twice his size 12 times throughout the course of that game. And for you to keep getting up and keep doing it over and over and to make a career out of it, you can't really. I don't think a normal person could do that.
No, I agree with you. This is a very intense sport. I mean, I think we, for those that have played it, for those that watch it, even I think it's pretty clear to see that this is a sport that's going to test you physically, psychologically. It is, it can be very challenging, and yeah, quarterbacks can get absolutely clobbered out there. I think
the psychological aspect even more than anything, because okay, let's say you're a UFC fighter or you're a boxer or someone where it's obviously a contact sport, you're going to get hit much more. their weight classes exist. There's two guys who are on sort of level terms, on a level playing field against each other. A quarterback and a free rusher who's 200 something pounds and who's much bigger than him, that's not level. That's not a level playing field.
Yeah.
Especially when one guy's clobbering the other dude and the other guy is more focused on what's going on downfield. I don't know. There's a reason why these guys get paid as much as they get paid, and there's a reason why they're the franchise guys, because I feel like it's a very demanding and difficult thing psychologically to have to overcome, especially if you're one of these guys that you're not even guaranteed a roster spot. Some of these guys are just getting like their asses kicked, and they're not even going to be getting the benefits and the big contracts or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I certainly think that these guys deserve their paycheck, particularly in the preseason, because it can be pretty rough. But it looks like Tua's night is over, as we've got looks like Cooper Rush coming on the field. So
okay, so to recap, Falcons starters against the Dolphins' second, third string defense. A couple of starters mixed in there. 3 drives, a touchdown, 2 turnovers.
Yep.
Wouldn't really write home about it.
They were gonna score on that final drive, so there was at least that. And
you're gonna look, man. It's
plenty of yards though. So
yards.
It's like I don't think Tua made a single impressive throw in that whole series. It was just like entirely checkdowns, and part of that's taking what the defense gives you, but even the last throw that he had, the Jahan Dotson throw, it was behind him. He wasn't able to get any yak because the ball was thrown behind him, and so he had to basically. He stumbled and almost dropped the ball because it was thrown behind him. So, now that Tua's officially left this game, I do think that it's probably I don't think you can name him the starter, Adnan.
No,
I mean,
no.
Again, go. Yeah.
I feel like everyone will be pressing now. Imagine Tua's out there week 1. For one, what's the first thing you're gonna think of when he trots out there, with the first team offense? Oh my God. No.
What?
That was, what's the call? Oh my goodness. Okay, this is actually a really good reaction. I can't get over how good special teams is, man.
Yeah,
I can't
I'm looking forward to some special teams here.
Impressive that punt is. Oh my goodness. He just hit him in the coffin right there. He just man.
Yeah.
I got chilled. I'm getting
love
chilled.
To see it. I love a nice. I'm sorry, but there's a lot of photogenic plays that get a lot of pop, but I feel like a nice coffin corner punt. Yeah, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah,
it hit the end zone. They called it a touchback. It's not right. There's no justice there that the Dolphins are going to get the ball at the 20, because that was such a beautiful, great backspin.
I didn't see it go in the end zone.
Coverage. I didn't either, but they called it. I'm tracking the ESPN right now as well. Maybe they'll look at it. But man, that was so good.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm giving him the credit. That was a godly punt. I agree with you. I agree with your take on that one.
I can't wait to watch the special teams this year. I can't wait to watch the Falcons punt team out there this season. I feel like
I'm looking forward to it for a change. Yeah. The return game too. We have some exciting returners.
We do. Isn't that Zach Branch?
Yeah, Zach Branch has looked nice as a return specialist. We got a lot to look forward to this year. Even if the Falcons may not be a playoff team. Maybe I feel like in this NFC South, there's gonna be they're gonna be in the mix in this terrible division no matter what. But I just feel like the special teams, man. It's just night and day difference over last year, and I feel like that can really help this team in those one-score games, which they lost a lot of last year. I mean, there's no way around that. Like, they lost so many games they should have won, you know? At least last year, like, the opposing kicker luck wasn't as crazy. Like, I think, what was it, in 2024, teams only missed one field goal against the Falcons all season, which was insane. That's, like, one of the rarest stats you'll ever hear. But, yeah. Last year, that luck was a little bit better, but unfortunately the Falcons' kicking game was not pulling their weight for half the season, although... Shout out to Zane Gonzalez because he was pretty solid once he got the job.
He was, but the Falcons' kicking game cost them early on. The Falcons' kicking game cost them a couple of years ago. Bradley Pinion wasn't, he was a decent average punter. I think Jake Bailey genuinely may be one of the best in the league, given what we've seen so far from him. I can't wait to,
really nice.
See what he does this season. But yeah, special teams is one of those things where nobody talks about it until it becomes an issue. And special teams can tank you. They can kill your season. I think it was, SB Nation had the video on, I think it was the 2010 Chargers, had the number one offense and the number one defense in the NFL that year. They missed the playoffs because their special teams was historically bad.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the Falcons team was not very good on offense or defense, but they had such good turnover luck and fumble luck that they won 13 games. So you just never know how a given season can go. But this is just one of those sports where one aspect of your game, because there's only 17 games, one aspect of your team can really tank your season. This isn't like baseball where there's 162 games of sample size, and over a larger sample size, the cream is going to rise to the top no matter what. That 2010 Chargers team, I think if you had 100 games in the NFL, they would probably be the number one seed, and they maybe even win the title that season. But because it was only 16 games, something can tank the season in that way. And we were kind of seeing that with the Falcons special teams the last couple of years as well. Not that the team was like great, but special teams definitely wasn't helping their playoff push at all.
No, definitely not. It was a hindrance. I mean, clearly. So, Dolphins trying just about anything. We got like some fakes here. So I mean, that's good. Like honestly, like I appreciate it when teams run some weird stuff in preseason because it actually helps your guys practice. Miller thankfully is okay for the Dolphins. He's back out there. He looked like maybe his arm got roughed up on that final play before the punt, but looks like he's okay, thankfully. Nice tackle there by Jamie Robinson, another special team standout from last year that returned. But yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I think the special teams will pay dividends this year. As Avion Terrell on the field, finally get to see Terrell for a change. So he does miss that tackle for loss, but it's okay. Right place, right time. Just didn't make the defense, or didn't make the tackle, but good opportunity there. Nice to see Avion. Like he I don't know like what the injury was. They were just kind of holding him out, so hopefully he can get a couple more weeks of practice in here. Because it sounds like he and Darnay Holmes are kind of the ones fighting for that starting slot job to open the season. I expect it. I expect that Terrell will have it sooner rather than later, but given how much time he's missed, it might be a little bit longer before.
I mean, given your second round investment, you're expecting him to make an immediate impact this season.
I think he will. Yeah, but
the start of the season or the first quarter of the season.
Yep. All right.
And I mean, Speaking of making an impact, Harold Perkins Jr.
Yeah.
He genuinely just like terrorized Cam Miller.
Yeah, poor guy. Yeah, I was about like, oof, that's a scary one.
Like he shed his block, and he just sort of like went. And Cam Miller was trying to pull some Disney magical Disney play out of his ass, where he was just like over there, and he's like. He spins away from one guy, goes to the corner. He's looking downfield.
It's in slow motion, Yeah. There's a sweeping score coming from the stands, and yeah.
There's no director who's gonna come in and like tell the guys around you not to like hit you and get that play off. No, Harold Perkins forced fumble. It absolutely like levels him. Ball does go out of bounds, but it is a sack and a forced fumble by Harold Perkins.
Yep.
Very, very impressive play.
Nice play. And then another solid return from Dylan Drummond. Again, it's like I feel like it's like the Falcons special teams was just so badly coached last year that it's like Dylan Drummond I don't think is like an overly exciting returner, but he's clearly like better than anything the Falcons put out there last year on returns. I mean, at least he's like he's probably averaging like 5 to 8 yards per punt return. That's like a solid number. I mean, that's not terrible. So, so that's good to see. Braylon Trice, nice to see him. Avion Terrell, like all these guys, We just need Braylon Trice to make it through this game healthy. For the love of God, please. Like, this man deserves let this man make the regular season. But I do think the fact that he's playing right now is a good sign for him. Like that he's playing with the twos immediately means I think that he is absolutely in contention for this spot. I sort of thought as long as he was okay, like in camp, Trice was looking good. I thought like he definitely looked like someone that was getting mixed in with the starters, and he's one of their more seasoned run defenders who we know is also a good pressure creator. So I'm pulling for him. I mean, it would be nice to finally get to see some regular season snaps from the former third round pick. So,
look, man, it's tough enough coming back from one season-ending injury, coming back from 2 back-to-back. Like that can be so mentally draining as well as physically draining that it's kind of also now or never for Braylon Trice. Like even though his he was a 4th round pick. He came out the same year as Brandon Dorless. They were back-to-back picks. I think Trice got taken before Dorless, if I'm remembering correctly. They were like back-to-back, in that draft. But this isn't the leadership, the front office that drafted you. New young guys are coming in and year out. People are gunning for your job. It's kind of time to you got to piss or get off the pot at this point. If you're Braylon Trice, like you have to make some sort of an impact this year, even though it sucks that it's his de facto rookie season and that he's like an older rookie and that contract isn't it's nearing the end. He has to make something shake this season.
Yeah. He does. I certainly hope that he will, as we get some more Cooper Rush here. Rush having to navigate some pressure, but does a good job. Gets it out to the UDFA Jack Velling. So
I will say though that if there's any team where he'll have that opportunity on, no better team than the Falcons, down, their 2 rookies last year, down all those pass rushers from a year ago, either, through injury, free agency, or suspension. This team doesn't have too much pass rush talent on it. And if anyone, they're just begging for someone to step in and fill the vacancy.
Yeah. All right, so we got the depth offense in now. Some more opportunities here. I think is Ethan Onyama even playing? No, he is. Okay, I was about to say, did he already get pulled? Like, the run blocking over there on Onyama's side, not pulling their weight tonight so far. But, good to see, honestly, him get more opportunities, especially with the second string, because there's a non-zero chance that they will need him at some point this season. So I'm glad that the Broncos game wasn't like, oh, this is what we're getting, and it's more like probably not as good as the Colts game either, which was awesome. That was a great game from him, but maybe more inconsistent, but not. I like what we've seen so far from the guy that didn't even start last year. So yeah. Again, yeah. Pretty.
Not a great question. Hey, Nick Muse with a nice little catch.
Yeah.
Another nice little catch. So he's
That's what I'm saying.
there.
I feel like Nick Muse, man. I feel like he's endeared himself quickly. This was I think he was signed right before joint practices, and they were looking for a little more blocking. And I think Nick Muse is actually. I feel like PFF is entirely done by AI now, so I don't really take it very seriously. But I feel like Muse, honestly, like I think he's like their highest graded player per PFF through the preseason. So as another
maybe
botched run play there by the Falcons leads to a 4th down. So
maybe he's this year's Tegan Quitoriano, who last year made the team as a 3rd tight end because of his, prolific special teams play, and he made the most of his moments.
Yep.
Wasn't really too good in the regular season, but he made it.
Yeah. Falcons going for it here on 4th down. Love to see it. Stefanski very aggressive on 4th down. I will give him that. That was definitely something.
We know that Nick Bolt can kick this, so it's like, let's evaluate. And I mean, they get it. They
do. They do. Mm-hmm. Chris Blair.
Chris Blair, the elder statesman.
It feels like it feels like we've seen Chris Blair's entire career here in Atlanta, but yeah. I mean, he's like 29 now, and he's finally going to get a chance to be on the active roster. So, I mean, I'm glad it happened eventually for him. He's deserved it. I mean, I think he was better than David Sills last year, probably. We won't go down that road, but oh, man.
I mean, nice little safe throw from Cooper Rush, gets it to him. Chris Blair, the ever reliable Chris Blair out there.
That's right. All right.
Yeah, they are dinking and dunking a lot, though.
Yeah, I don't know, if that's more of a point of emphasis in this game. I mean, just to try to give the benefit of the doubt to everyone. We'll see if, like, when Strand comes on the field, he just starts unleashing the dragon or something. But 6 minutes left here in the first half, as Falcons approaching the red zone. Not quite there yet. They're on their way, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Blair again.
Yeah, nice little hands catch there. I think he did get that right at the first down mark. You notice something, Adnan? That all of these receivers are at the sticks, not like before the sticks and depending on them to get like 3 more yards. These routes are actually at the sticks. So it's like, that's a nice catch. This shouldn't be this like it shouldn't be hard. Like it just we need 10 yards. Okay, we should probably have a bunch of 10-yard plays in our playbook where like the primary read is right at that stick. So I just can't believe that wasn't something we were doing more of last year.
The defense would expect that.
Yeah.
So if the defense isn't expecting it, it'll work.
The closer you are to danger, the farther you are from harm. So. Oh man.
Well, hasn't been the most exciting game.
No. I mean, I feel like, it's been a lot of turnovers, and obviously the big buzzkill of Tua fumbling that snap where it was like, oh, maybe he's going to add some intrigue here. And now I've got people sending me tweets where it's like, he was 7 of 8 for 95 yards. He crushed it. That's how I know you didn't watch the game. I don't think he had a single impressive throw. I mean, I think not that there's anything wrong with just taking what the defense gives you, but like I said, I thought he missed some reads. I thought he had a couple of inaccurate passes that could have gone for much better yardage. And obviously, he fumbled another snap. You can't have that. You just can't have it.
This wasn't the best game for him just because, he's 7 of 8. I think the longest pass of the day was that screen to Pitts where he threw the ball behind the line.
No, he averaged 3.3 air yards on his 8 attempts. That was it. So
yeah, it's not. He didn't really do much. It was not all yards are created equal, and the fumbled snap is just. That was just egregious. That was just unacceptable.
That was the one thing he couldn't do. Yeah. His 68 of Tua's 95 yards came after the catch. 72%. So, and again, the Falcons have good weapons. There's nothing wrong with taking the easy yardage, but it's the whole point of this was well, show us what you can do. I think honestly, probably the biggest thing was just don't show that you're just gonna be okay. Don't make any crushing mistakes. And then the second drive, he fumbled the snap. So
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
I think
it's
that's
one
still
of
the
those.
biggest deal. That's still the biggest deal. So.
Before the punt interrupted my other monologue,
Mhm.
you can't imagine what's going to be going through your head. You see Tua Tagovailoa going out there on that first drive, with the offense. It'll be the same thing going through every fan's head. It'll be the same thing going through coaching staff's head. It'll be the same thing going through Tua's head himself. That's don't fumble the snap. Everyone is going to be locked into, is he going to fumble the snap or not at this point? I feel like he'll maybe be pressing a little bit, because how can you not be? That'll probably increase the probability of it happening, because it'll probably be on his mind and everyone's mind at that point. I just don't think it's a recipe for success having a quarterback out there where you're just awaiting disaster. You're just waiting for that shoe to drop, and I think that's what you'd be signing up for with Tua out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's what, out of like 15 snaps, 18 snaps, 2 fumbles? I mean, that's way too many. Way too many. Like, and that's just counting the preseason. I mean, he had one in the joint. Apparently, there's another one early in the joint practices. Like, it's clearly an issue for him.
I think he had one against the Colts too.
No, he didn't play against the Colts, right?
No, against the Colts in joint practice.
Oh, no, you're right. Yeah, that's what I meant. I think there was one against. Yeah.
I'm telling you, he had one at Lanier High School. I was there. I was watching the first play from the first team. It was like him and Bijan had. It wasn't a snap, but him and Bijan had a miscommunication where Tua ended up dropping the ball, which to me is the exact same thing.
Yeah.
It's one time fine, twice is an issue, and 3+ times it's a big problem.
Yeah. I will say one thing on the injury front. I think I heard from Daniel Flick that Kyle Hinton was in a big knee brace, so it seems like he might have some sort of injury. He's not out there. I think that's a big reason why their run game is not doing as well tonight, because I think in the last game when Hinton left and Stuber came in for him, they took a significant step back there. The good news, though, is that Cam Dewberry, the UDFA guard that also left that game with an injury, he is back in there, and that's good to see, because I think he's been pretty impressive. I mean, he's with the twos, and I thought he was playing really well against the Colts before he went out, so certainly happy to see Dewberry back out there, as the Falcons do run. Speaking of, they run the ball there, getting it into a goal-to-go situation, Adnan, so inching closer here. Inching closer.
Yeah, it's minutely getting there, with the speed of a sloth, but they're getting there.
Look, I mean, you can win with a dominant run game, and as we see look like maybe, I don't know if Dylan Drummond tripped there or what. It looked like he wasn't ready for that slant.
It was a nice play call.
Yeah.
I really like the call of the little square. I think if that ball gets to Drummond cleanly, he walks into the end zone.
Yeah, it looked like. I think maybe there was an edge rusher breaking on it, and Rush had to put it like low and outside to make sure he didn't have a chance to pick it off. I think that's what happened. We'll have to see on the replay on the. I'll have to watch it on the All-22, but yeah, not worth taking a pick there. So that would have been, if that's the case, a very savvy play by Rush to make sure that's
Rush
not.
has already thrown a pick from about this area of the field once.
No kidding.
But yeah, Jack Velling.
Yeah, UDFA, another UDFA getting his first touchdown. Congratulations.
It's a vicious battle between tight ends right now for that last roster, for that TE4 spot.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, to people saying like, oh yeah, I think Cooper Rush is playing better than Tua. I think you're right, honestly. I mean, and the fact that Rush looks basically the same as Tua, with like the depth against basically the same Dolphins defense, with like, let's keep it like, I want to put this in context too. Rush has only had like what? This would be like the 4th week in Atlanta. So he's only had like a handful of weeks to learn this off. Tua had all off season, like starting in March to go learn the offense. Rush has got this down, and I mean, and he's a veteran, but so is Tua. Like, it's the fact that Rush is looking just as comfortable in this offense is not a good sign. But And
Yeah,
I know, yeah, no, yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
it's also not helping my Jack Strand, agenda. The Cooper Rush playing well. Not that we will hope anyone plays poorly, but you know, I mean, so our guy Strand is already a little bit behind Rush, and now, I guess I'll just have to come in and set the world on fire today.
I mean, to be clear, I think Strand has already made the roster. It's more just like, do we want Tua or Rush? And I mean, there's been some like buzz around that they may like try to trade Tua or just let him go. I don't really think they have to let him go. I mean, he's making so little money, but I mean, obviously, if like Rush is legitimately just a better option, then I guess I just that's shocking to me. But maybe we are there. I don't know, Adnan. Maybe we are there. I mean,
But again, the fact that we're even having the discussion says more than the discussion itself. Because what do you mean we're talking about if he'll even make the 53-man? Or imagine coming into day one of training camp where, after Penix announced that it'll be another 4 weeks before he gets cleared. Imagine coming into that scenario and telling someone, yeah, Tua's going to play so poorly that he's not even going to make the roster. I mean, I guess it was always within the realm of possibility, but someone told you that, you'd say, yeah, well, we're screwed.
yep.
Like, it's how poor can he possibly be at that point? And it would be self implosion poor, and I don't know, like, do the fumbles count as self implosion? Like, is this an implosion?
I don't
Do
know.
we
Yeah.
define it as such?
Mhm.
So I
Yeah.
don't know. More importantly, does the coaching staff define it as such? Because
That's
they're
a
the
good
ones
question.
who opinion actually matters.
Yeah. That was the first return the Falcons have given up all preseason. Give up a like 50-yard return there to the Dolphins. So looked like someone just missed their tackle on the returner as the Dolphins start driving here with a nice pass from Miller uh, to Marshall Jr. I don't know who that is. Apologies, but yeah, another CJ Anderson just getting beat on that same route, that just simple dig route. So you got to play that a little tighter, bud. It's not gonna be good.
Hey man, if you think that's bad, wait until Kobe Bryant gets in.
We didn't see much against the Colts, but yeah, it was not good against the Broncos. I can tell you that. So,
No, like he's been
and Avion
I
Terrell
don't know.
looks like he got hurt on that play, but maybe he's okay. Hopefully.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm glad the starters played in the preseason for sure. I just don't feel great about this team coming out of the preseason. Just like seeing what we've seen from the starters so far. So, I mean, I guess that's one benefit that the former coaching staffs had to like keeping them out, where you can hide some of the fragility, and you can hide some of the ineptitude from your starters, from the media up until week one. Of course, come week one, everyone's going to see it for what it is. But up until then, the media narratives aren't really there, and there aren't really the headlines or anything like that. You know, Again, I completely still disagree with the philosophy, because, like I said, come week one, you'll see, the guys are inept. But it just reminds me of the Desmond Ritter off season, where they spent that entire off season just completely babying Ritter and completely hiding him from ever. It was like the Gestapo when it came to Desmond Ritter. He was throwing those 2 yard like out routes in practice, in those like tiny slants. And I remember Rothstein talking about, oh, he's 8 for 8 today. He was 7 for 8 today, and everyone was losing their minds. It's unless you were there, or unless you were listening to someone that was actually there, which I was trying my best to sort of like warn people about this. You would think it was like Kim Jong-un level propaganda of, oh, this guy is actually legit. And then when you're there, when you see it, it's like, oh, he's not really legit. But what they're letting out of Flowery Branch, you would think they found their starting quarterback. Didn't play in the preseason. Who threw that? Even the bad throws, they cropped him out of the video, so you never knew who threw the ball. I remember who threw that was such a big thing on Falcons Twitter because they refused to show his face on any bad throws.
That's right.
And I was just like, it's just unbelievable the extent that these coaches will go, especially when you consider the fact that everything is going to be exposed come week 1. Come the regular season, you're not hiding any of this stuff anymore. You can hide it as much as you want in July and in August.
Yeah. No, I mean, I guess to me, I feel fine about, honestly, I feel like I don't really care if the starters look in the, I think just seeing them is good. So I guess to me, based on what we've seen so far, I feel fine about where the team is. If Tua was the starter and Penix wasn't just waiting to be the other option, I would feel a lot worse because I don't think Tua's done anything even remotely impressive. But yeah,
that's part of it. We haven't actually seen the full starters either.
No Bijan. So yeah.
Yeah. So the entire argument for why maybe we don't feel as bad is we haven't seen Penix, we haven't seen Bijan, but it's because we have
big things. Yeah.
Wow, no, huge things for sure. But yeah, it's because they haven't played in the preseason where we're okay, but that brings up that goes back to my entire point of you can hide things as much as you want in August. And that's what the former coaching staffs did, but it's like calligraphy. That's one of the most beautiful and respectable art forms that you have, in my opinion. If someone is a master calligrapher, that's something that they can never hide. You can't hide being good at calligraphy or being shit at calligraphy because you're going to see it in the art at the end of the day, one way or another. And I think you can sort of make that comparison to an NFL roster. One way or another, we're going to see this team for better or for worse. I don't know what it's going to look like. I may have somewhat of an idea and, an opinion on what it may look like, but we'll see come week 1.
Yeah. Well, there's a nice, not to interrupt your monologue, a nice revenge play there by C.J. Henderson, who gets in there and breaks up the pass on 3rd down to force a field goal here. So a little redemption. Nice break on this ball. Gets the peanut punch in there. I don't know. Maybe you could argue that's a fumble, but they'll just call it incomplete. But yeah, nice little bounce back there from Henderson, who was, like we said, getting kind of victimized on those inside plays. Gets in there and gets a good play.
He needed a win for sure.
Yeah, and I think wow, that was an ugly looking kick, but it does get through.
I could have sworn when that ball started going on its trajectory, I'm he shanked the hell out of this, but he kept it in.
Yeah, it got in, so that's what counts. But that was an ugly looking kick. Not the most inspiring, but hey, that's why I became a fan of the Falcoholic. Right there, it's the only place you can get football and calligraphy takes in the same episode. It's true. There's no other shows offering you guys that. So,
none that I've seen.
Maybe. I mean, if there is, let us know. But
look, man, I like using some of these longer shows to channel my inner Jeff Van Gundy, on the NBA broadcast, where you just sort of talk about whatever's on your mind and make some of these comparisons. It's this is the time for it. We'll be on here for 3 hours total tonight.
Yeah, another hour and a half. It's almost halftime. It's been about 90 minutes, so probably got another hour and a half to go here, folks. But before I forget, we did get a donation from Corey a few minutes ago that came in. And he says, when Jack Strand plays quarterback, the ball throws itself complete to the receiver. Yes. I mean, Jack Strand is the man, the myth, the legend, and we're going to get to see Jack Strand here really soon, I imagine. I wonder if they'll do like they did last week and give him a little pre-halftime snaps here, but Rush hasn't gotten to play a ton, so I wouldn't be surprised if Rush gets another series, but
Yeah, I mean,
Bunch of flags, like 3 flags come out here on this return.
I don't know, man. It seems like there's no way you can put strain on the practice squad. Like
Yeah.
you can't. He's gonna get poached immediately, and he should get poached immediately.
Yep.
Maybe they put Rush on there and elevate him week in and
Right.
week out. I
I think
don't
that's what they should
know.
do. Yeah.
Like with the practice squad, I know they changed the rules yearly. You still get two like hands offs where you can sort of make them immune to getting signed off your practice squad, or is that just I don't know. I don't know what the latest rules
You
are.
can
They've changed practice
so
squad rules a number of
I
times.
think you can protect a practice squad player. It was a little bit off target throw there for Rush. Not terrible to Dylan Drummond, but able to bring it in. Um, you can protect guys, but they have to get through waivers first before you can do that. So
Yeah, that makes sense because
yeah,
it wouldn't be fair to the player if you're just like, oh no, you want to sign him to an NFL contract? No. He's got to
yeah,
stay here
yeah,
because I'm sure the players look, man. The NFL has a very weak players union,
yeah,
uh, very weak NFLPA, but they're not that weak.
yeah,
I would be hard pressed to imagine that they're that bad.
yeah. All right, third down coming here for Cooper Rush before halftime. See if can make any magic happen here. Dolphins in
Yeah,
an
I'm sure
all-out
that
blitz, and looks like a little bit off target there, maybe to Chris Blair.
yeah, not a great end to the half there for Rush if it is the end of the half, some off the mark throws. But yeah, can you imagine how much rage and fury the Falcons fan base will unleash on this team if they cut strain and keep Tua at this point?
Yeah, I mean, it would be really foolish. Um, you know, I think you gotta. I think they're gonna keep him. I think 4 quarterbacks is not out of the question. Just at least like temporarily. But again, like I don't think you have to worry too much about Rush, like getting poached. And again, Rush is not subject to waivers, so you can just wait. Like and like if anybody wants to sign Rush, then you can be like, all right, then you will just give you another contract. Like yeah, we'll sign you to the active roster, then whatever. Um, unless he like wants to leave to go somewhere else, which I guess is his right regardless. But um, yeah, I just don't really think like there's any reason you need to keep Rush on the roster. I think you can, like you said, Adnan, if you do have a quarterback injury to Penix or Tua, you can just elevate him for those games as the third quarterback or like the second quarterback, I guess, in that scenario. But I feel like even if they're not like ready, right, like to make Jack Strahan the QB3 like immediately, I think within like a month or two they'll probably be okay with it. I think they just want to get him a few more reps. But nice play there by Christian Harris, who just kind of escaped his blocker and just immediately like shut down the quarterback. Nice little play there. Nearly a sack. Miller thought he was going to be able to escape, but let's talk about Christian Harris because like I feel like Christian Harris hasn't done anything wrong. It's more like Kendall Daniels has been like so good that Harris has kind of just found himself as like the third linebacker instead. But I don't really think it's like anything that Christian Harris has like done poorly or wrong. It's more just like Daniels has really stood out so far.
I mean, it's kind of what you were hoping to see so far because Christian Harris is one of those guys where after he was signed, you sort of imagined, okay, he's going to be the guy that starts next to, Divine Diablo. Like it was the logical consensus, the logical conclusion. And meanwhile, you have Kendall Daniels and Harold Perkins, two guys who, you really sort of threw into the fire a little bit, this camp and this preseason, knowing that you need them. You need their depth. You need them to make an impact on day one as either starters or depth guys. They've answered the call a little bit, and that's exactly what you were hoping for because, I mean, great teams are sort of built not just on day 1 of the draft, they're built on day 3 of the draft as well. And we remember that was Terry Fontenot's Achilles heel. The
Yeah.
worst thing, he is one of the worst general managers I've ever seen at finding talent on days 2 and 3 of the draft.
Yeah, day 2 in particular. Yeah.
Day 2 was just an abomination. He had some hits, like don't get me wrong, like Drew Dahlman was a good pick, very good pick on day 3. But there just wasn't enough. It was just too many misses on days 2 and 3, and we wonder why this depth was so bad. That's why the depth was so bad. That's one of 2 major reasons. The other one being the Kirk Cousins contract, where that sort of siphoned off a lot of valuable resources, and all of a sudden, you're out there playing J.D. Bertrand 95% of snaps after you have one injury last season. That's all Terry Fontenot's doing, and it's through 5 years of consistent failures on days 2 and 3 of the draft that you get to that scenario. And now, it's a good sign that Ian Cunningham, might have nailed those linebacker picks on day 3. I'm not saying he did or didn't. We still haven't even gotten to week 1. But if they are good picks, then he's already damn near done as much as Terry Fontenot did on day 3 in his entire tenure.
Yeah. I forgot that Bradley Pinion was on the Dolphins, by the way, the former Falcons punter. So the Falcons swapped, they have the Falcons kicker and punter now, and the Falcons have the Dolphins punter in Jake Bailey. So I didn't realize that, but that was not a good punt from Bradley Pinion. But I do think Pinion was overhated in Atlanta. I think Pinion was always a pretty solid punter, but Jake Bailey so far has also been really nice. So can't complain there. Nice, again, a little low, but not a bad throw by Cooper Rush, but still a chance here for the Falcons. There, yeah.
Matthew Hayball has been fine. He's been pretty good as a punter too. It's just, Jake Bailey's just been him. Like Jake Bailey is just great right now.
Yeah. No, that was technically a drop from Vinny Anthony, although I think that was a little low, but.
Well, something in the chat asking us to predict the Falcons record. And
we'll do that at halftime. We'll do that at halftime. That's a good halftime question.
I'll be brandished. I'll be brandished if I do share my opinions on what I think the record is going to be.
If I speak,
if I speak, I'll be in big trouble.
Yeah.
The Jose Mourinho for all of my soccer fans in the chat. What we know about the special one out here, Jose Mourinho.
Yeah. Nice catch by Jack Velling. Yeah. Also, but
I guess we'll have a little bit of a 2-minute drill going on here.
A little bit. Yeah.
Falcons don't have any more timeouts. That they did use them up.
I feel like they should give them that other one back because they called it incomplete. So I feel like maybe the ticker is not accurate because I feel like they gave them the one back because they ruled that other one incomplete. But
in fairness, it is it's preseason for
also
everyone.
Yeah. Also, I don't care, but yeah, I'll just go ahead and get it over with. But yeah,
if this was Raheem Morris, that timeout wouldn't matter one way or another. You
got to keep it in the back pocket, Adnan. What if you need it?
The thing is, Raheem Morris, if he brought 2 to 3 timeouts to the Falcons team shop, he could get a 40% discount.
Yeah, they're gonna get the Dolphins there for interfering with the ball. Somebody knocked it out of Chris Blair's hands while he was trying to give it to the ref. So they're gonna flag that. Like you can't just do that. Like some Dolphins player just walked up and swatted it. Did you see that? It's hilarious. It's like they're not gonna let you just do that. Like, yeah, it's so stupid. It's preseason for everyone, I guess. It's like you can't just do that. Oh God. Oh, I love these. I mean, it's like you gotta play. That was super obvious too. Like it wasn't even like sly. Like, oops, maybe he dropped it. It was just like splat.
Hey man. Can we talk about Gwinnett County legend Tyler Goodson right now?
What a god.
Gets a pass on the wheel route downfield. The defender drops the shoulder Marcus Williams during the Minneapolis Miracle, and then a spin cycle. Just like, oh man, I have chills.
He looks
My
so
fellow
good as a.
Gwinnett County.
Woo.
Hey, shout out to Gwinnett County, man. North Gwinnett High School, former Georgia High School Player of the Year, coming back home and showing out. That's I think he right now is firmly in the league for that RB3 spot.
Look at that operation too. That was so clean. Like
Oh,
Cooper Rush has been here for 3 weeks. Look at how clean that was.
Incredible. Hey, I appreciate a good operation too.
I do.
Like,
I do.
It's small things, but it's one of those where Goodson got up, immediately located the ball, immediately went over, gave it to the ref. It doesn't count until the ref touches the ball.
Yep.
They got a nice spike in, 2 seconds left. You could not draw it up better. Could not draw it up any better.
Excellent
and
operation.
Also,
great throw. Yeah, absolutely. That might have been his best throw of the day. I thought that was really nice.
That was, man.
Nice touch
was,
pass to the running back. Falcons get
stuff like that really
half.
gets me going.
Yeah, just the little things, We're not hard to please, okay?
Man, my heart has grown 3 sizes watching these fundamentals right now.
Just the fundamentals.
Man.
Hashtag fundamentals on this program. Incredible stuff. Yeah, just chills.
I'm riled up. I'm riled up.
So this would be the perfect time then to answer how many wins, because after that play, now I'm shooting the prediction way up. So, no, it's a good question though, guys. Thanks for before we get to that, real quick. Want to thank everyone for joining us. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Really appreciate that. If you want to support the show, you can check us out on patreon.com/FalconHawkLive or the YouTube channel memberships. Shout out to Hertz 4K, who just joined the YouTube channel memberships as well. Thank you so much, Hertz, for your support. Obviously stick with us, guys. If you're new, welcome. If you're not new, also welcome back. Like I said, we'll have we'll use this interlude, just to say there will be a roster projection coming very soon after this game. Not guessing I'll have a ton of changes so far, other than Tua being cut. And I'm just kidding. but other than that, that'll be coming out maybe late tonight or early Saturday morning. But thanks again, guys, for joining us. Really appreciate you. But yeah, Adnan, it's a good opportunity before we take probably a short break here to use the necessary refill the water cups or the beer for me. You got any fun non-alcoholic drink tonight, Adnan? Or
I'll bring one.
Okay. You always are pulling out the creative drinks. Like some of them I've never heard of. The people need the takes. So,
hey man, when you don't drink alcohol, you gotta sort of make do. I can't just be coming up here with water. People deserve more than a bottle of water.
I will say, even the mocktail, not just the mocktails that have fake alcohol in them, but just the creative non-alcoholic drinks that people are putting out there. Pretty good stuff. It's if you want something more exciting than just a soft drink or water, give them some of them use fake alcohol. So I feel at that point it might unless you're non-alcoholic, which is fine. But there's ones that I feel are just fruit juices, just creatively mixed together, and it's tasty stuff. So, but all right, have you revised? I know we did the season predictions previously, and Adnan was a little low, relative. To the rest of the people who predicted. I'll pull up the numbers. So we, this was a while ago, guys. Anna maybe changed his mind, maybe didn't. I don't know. We're gonna check in.
The numbers for a reference point, because we did go through 3 episodes for this, and we didn't do that for no reason.
Yeah. So Kevin, myself, 8-9, 4-2 in the NFC South. Adnan was 6-11, but 5-1 in the NFC South. So Falcons clean up in the NFC South. Unfortunately, only win 1 game outside the division. And then we had Joe.
Browns, by the way.
Oh yeah, it was the Browns. Of course.
Beating the Browns. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we had Joe Patrick with the Falcons at 8-9 as well, 3-3 in the division. And then we had Eric Robinson, the most optimistic at 9-8 with 5-1 in the division, same as Adnan. So, have you changed your mind at all, or are you still in pretty much the same spot you were 2 months ago or whatever it was?
Look, man, I'm not saying this to trash the Falcons. I have changed my win-loss number, but not in the way you'd expect. I actually kind of went down.
hey, hey, hey,
I,
hey,
I was
hey,
the
hey,
most, I
hey,
was
hey.
the most pessimistic out of all of us. I understand, but I think I think I genuinely have them at 5 wins this year. And in fairness to those records, that's before Jalen Walker got hurt. I was expecting Jalen Walker to be a big key contributor this year and to make a big second year leap. It's before we knew that James Pierce was going to be suspended for sure. And to be honest, I thought it would be a 6-game suspension. It ended up overshooting that mark at 8 games. So you're going to be down Pierce for 8 games. It's a lot of good young talent. I don't completely know what is going to happen with Michael Penix. I am pretty sure now that Penix is going to be out there week 1. Is he going to
Same.
be, fully ready? Is he, going to clear that mental hurdle of the ACL tear? Because that's the hardest part. You ask any. I remember Lou Williams, another Gwinnett County legend, former Atlanta Hawk, great, one of the greatest NBA sixth men of the year. He tore his ACL, and he had an interview where he was talking about like that whole first year after that torn ACL. He just wasn't himself because he was so afraid to cut. He was so afraid to, do what he needed to do. And that's the last thing that you sort of get over a little bit. Um, you know, I just don't trust him like what with this record that we have right now. Not that I'm not hoping to be wrong, but I just, I look back and I'm like, man, are we really going to win 5 games against the NFC South? So I think
All against the NFC South. No, we're gonna lose to the Browns and do an almost complete sweep of the NFC South.
Yeah.
Obviously, the one loss coming to the Panthers because for some reason Bryce Young turns into a Super Saiyan when he plays Atlanta. But I mean, look, we've been out here predicting good records for years. Maybe what this team needs is a little bit like, unlike where Baker Mayfield is like, oh, no one like is thinking I'm any good and I'm always against them. Maybe we need to give the Falcons a little bit of hate and then they'll respond, with like one of those like, oh, nobody respects us type of seasons or something like that. But I mean, it wouldn't be the worst case scenario though. Like 5 wins probably gets them a top 5 pick. I mean, so
yeah, no, I think to be completely honest with you, I would take 5 wins and the floor dropping out over 8 wins every single day of the year. I'll take 5 wins over going 9-8 and missing the playoffs. Although I do think 9 games is going to win the division.
Probably
this
wins
year.
this division. Yeah. Probably does. Yeah.
Give me 5. Give me either give me the playoffs or give me a 2007-esque season. Like, I don't need anything in between that because I do think that this is one of those draft classes that can completely change the fortunes of a team for a generation if you get lucky and if you really get it right. But no, I mean, look, they kind of punted a little bit in the offseason. And I know, we're seeing the praises of the rookies. At the end of the day, rookie players are going to make rookie mistakes. My main thing is just like what the Dolphins coach said earlier today, I want to see development. Like, give me development and I'll be satisfied. I'm not putting pressure on this team. I'm not putting pressure on Stefanski to win in year 1. I'm not going to be calling for his head if the team doesn't make the playoffs the way that I know some fans will, because, they were at a deficit in picks this year. They were at a deficit in cap space. I think 2027 is when this team is actually going to make their moves and when this team is actually going to put themselves in position to win. But I think they have sort of hurt themselves in the short term to put themselves in position for 2027. And that's what I completely agree with. And I completely support that decision. But, when that happens, you sort of will suffer in the short term. And I do think they will suffer in the short term, especially playing the AFC and NFC North divisions. Those are two brutal divisions to go up against.
Yeah. Rough draw, no doubt about that. No, I don't think it's unreasonable. I sort of feel like either Penix shows that he is a quarterback that the Falcons want to at least see again in 2027, and they're probably like 8 to 9 wins in that range, maybe better if things go really well. But or it's like what you're saying, and it's like Penix. Maybe he gets hurt. I mean, I hope he doesn't get hurt again, honestly. But it doesn't go well with Penix. I think we're kind of figuring out maybe Tua just can't really hack it. And so like it doesn't. If like the quarterback situation works out one way or another, I feel like then they're going to be like winning too many games to be in the quarterback conversation anyway. And then it's sort of like if the quarterback situation doesn't work out, then they're probably in the top 5 and they're looking there for their next quarterback. But we'll see how that plays out. But okay, I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick, Adnan, and then I'll give you your opportunity because I think we're probably going to see the game start here in just a second. But I'll be right back, guys. Adnan will be here to entertain you. Maybe more calligraphy takes. People seem to like those. So,
Hey, man.
It's good stuff. All right, I'll be right back, guys.
What you guys don't know is I'm an amateur calligrapher in my spirit. No, I'm kidding. I'm not breaking out any calligraphy. I do have a friend that was that's really into it a little bit, on an amateur level. But I remember him telling me it takes a long time to really like do anything with it. So it's one of those where I really I respect the craft. Like that's a true craftsman can be. Only a true craftsman can be a calligrapher because it takes a long time to do it. But yeah, it's breaking out the papyrus. Yeah, I'm not that old school yet. But yeah, it's one of those things now with this team. I agree. There's talent on this team. I just don't know if we have seen. Actually, I know we haven't seen the final phase of we haven't seen the final phase of what this offensive and defensive lines are going to be. I think they do have at least their guards in place for the future with Matthew Bergeron and Chris Lindstrom. Ryan Neuzil is a question mark. Maybe Juwan Taylor is not your right tackle of the future. You're going to have to replace Jake Matthews at left. I think if you do not take a quarterback in this draft, a right tackle should be at the top of your mind, or a left tackle, depending on who's there, where you want to play them. And then on the defensive side of the ball, they have some talent. I think your pass rushers are in place. I really like Dorlus, but is Mason Smith going to be the guy? Is Deshaun Hand going to be there long term? I think when this team is going to have actual success long term and consistent success when they really sort of prioritize the trenches, because in my opinion I think they have sort of prioritized the skill positions a little too much before working on the trenches. They're not sexy picks, but I think they're floor raisers. If you're a team that's less talented than your opponent, but you have great play in the trenches, you're always going to be there. You're always going to have a chance to win. Whereas, even if you're more talented than someone else, and you have all these star receivers, a star running back, the great tight end, but you're getting your ass kicked in the trenches, you're not really going to, that can be a great equalizer. We saw it against the Steelers a couple of years ago where TJ Watt just completely broke the game, and hopefully they don't let that happen again this time. But yeah, I think I've been saying it for years. They really need the trenches, and I think they really need to sort of prioritize that this coming draft after getting the quarterback of the future, of course, and then in the coming drafts after that. Like I would love to see a lot more heavier sort of French picks along the offensive and defensive lines. Although I will say at least they finally got figured out pass rusher, presumably, as long as JPJ can sort of as long as he can stay out of trouble. Brandon Brass Gooseby is one of those guys that's sort of one of those blue chip type players, but only if they land outside of that quarterback type conversation, for one way or another. And I do think that Bill Callahan, has a chance to really make a lot of things happen with this offensive line. I think he's a great floor raising coach. But yeah, I mean, Corey, Cash Jones is one of those guys that great receiving back. I don't think he's going to make the team. I think he's had some of his moments for sure, but I don't think he's in that conversation as one of those top 4 running backs, despite the fact that he is one of those fan favorites. I think between Tyler Goodson and Nate Carter for that backup running back role. Nate Carter did just get in there. Tyler Goodson had his great moment, and we are seeing Jack Strand out there.
Yes, just in time for Jack Strand to return to the field. The GOAT himself. So
now we have a real chance here for for the main event, for what we've been waiting for.
Yeah, there's one of Nate Carter's better runs of his preseason. So
he's kind of fallen behind.
He has, unfortunately, but
I don't think
there's
much time to figure it out now or to make up for it.
Right. And then, the other guy that I want to shout out is someone that's kind of fallen behind, Wanya Morris. He's been relegated to the second half of all these preseason games. So you have to wonder if Morris is he going to make the roster? I mean, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, Wanya Morris is one of those guys where he was just so victimized by his own injuries.
Yeah.
He was the presumed swing tackle, and he missed all that time that Jawan Taylor missed.
Right.
And that was a perfect opportunity for him to really solidify himself as not just a swing tackle, but maybe as someone to even make a competition of that right tackle position possibly. And injuries happen. Injuries sometimes happening at inopportune times. I don't think every injury is created equal, especially for some of these fringe guys on the roster. When you get hurt matters a lot.
Yeah. Nice little completion there to Keelan Marion to get the all the penalty yardage and more back. So that's good.
Also,
to see.
Yeah, that halftime did not feel long.
No, that was short. I figured we'd have another 5 minutes. So pretty quick.
It's look, man, I'd be for it if the NFL instituted that, but there's no chance in hell.
Yeah.
If anything, we'll see longer half times. So
right, they need to squeeze in 2 more commercial breaks. So
we need to put in more 3 more gambling companies and a Pat McAfee commercial now that ESPN and NFL are combined.
Pretty soon it's just going to be Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee halftime show for every game. Pat McAfee post-game show.
I saw
Strand takes a bad sack there, but yeah.
I saw a meme that's really sort of that really hit close to my heart because I'm huge Simpsons fan in terms of golden era Simpsons. But it was that the Poochie episode where Homer voices Poochie on Itchy and gets a character on Itchy and Scratchy after the focus group. For those that know what I'm referencing here.
Yep.
And it was Homer basically as ESPN making the pitch. And in the actual scene, he says, Poochie should get more scenes. And when Poochie's not on screen, people should be asking, where is Poochie? And then basically the meme is him as ESPN. And it's, Pat McAfee should get more time. And whenever he's not on screen, people should be asking, where's Pat McAfee? And that's basically what it feels like ESPN is at this point.
Yeah. And it's not a bad show. Again, it's I feel like it's a show that has its place. I think Matt McAfee is certainly a fun personality. It's just I don't think it's not for every fan, that style. I certainly think it's sort of a lot, there are some newer fans that are really younger fans in particular that are into that style of show. And that's fine. I think it's a good show. It's just it's not the only thing that fans want to see. It doesn't really replace or scratch the itch of a lot of similar stuff. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
The thing is, ESPN at least, and I'm a nostalgia merchant. Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm being a nostalgia merchant here, but maybe not. ESPN, back when I was growing up, back when I was in high school, middle school, they had different types of shows. Like, they had sort of something for everyone. And even though it was the same exact topics that people were talking about and discussing and debating, there was something for everyone, so to speak. Like different types. You always had First Take in the morning for the people that were into that. You know, PTI is still there. That they were the OGs, and Kornheiser and Wilbon are still kicking, and you know they're just like the legends of the industry. You know, you had Highly Questionable with Dan Lebitard and his father making hilarious comments. You know, shout out to Poppy, who's my favorite all-time ESPN personality ever. You had Around the Horn, which had the like fun buzzer system and the point system. You know, later on you had NFL Live talking specifically about the NFL. You had Sports Nation with their own unique spin and take on what the show on like what's going on in the sports world. You had College Football Game Day and College Football Final, where they were like having their like debate, and it's like there was something for everyone, every personality, and I feel like that was sort of a golden age of ESPN. And now it's like, no, you're getting this specific show, and that's it. Like everything is going to be this.
Yeah. Another nice play there by Carlos Allen Jr. So the UDFA is like, no, don't forget about me. Don't forget about me. I'm trying to make this roster too. But I agree with you. I really liked. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, sorry, I didn't
I was gonna say he's had a good showing. He's really one of those UDFAs that has a genuine chance of making this roster.
Yeah. But yeah, ESPN used to be like the go-to, and I feel like I just don't ever watch it anymore. You know, it's just. And then unfortunately NFL Network's going away because I feel like NFL Network kind of took the crown, where if you wanted like sports analysis during the day, that was kind of the go-to. But now apparently that's going away too. So.
I genuinely don't remember oh my God, Kobe Bryant, bro. Oh my God. You'll see that in about 40 seconds.
I was like, at the time you said it, he was like just running out of bounds. I was like, oh God, he just like grabbed somebody like when the play was like a throwaway, but he's just Adnan, I'm guessing he grabbed someone.
No, it actually wasn't terrible coverage. But you can't. It wasn't awful. Oh my God, that was a vicious hit. It was a hell of a throw. I'll say it was a hell of a throw. The coverage wasn't awful, but he still sort of gets mossed a little bit.
Yeah. You know.
And Mark Gronowski, the rookie out of Iowa. He got leveled on that play. And Terrace Marshall Jr. with
the former Panthers second rounder or third rounder. Who is that same? I think it's the same guy. So that's that Marshall. Okay. Oh yeah, Zach Harrison just destroyed Gronowski. Like, I feel like it's just not fair to like. I feel like they're just trying to get Zach Harrison like reps because he missed most of training camp, and then just having him go out there against like third stringers and just like destroy these offensive linemen. Yeah.
That goes back to my fourth monologue of the night that I had back in the first quarter, where this is what these quarterbacks have to go through.
Yeah.
Like they're getting, you're getting leveled. Like this 270-pound dude in the NFL is coming right at you. And it's like, well, you're either making this throw or you're not. And you're getting destroyed. If you don't make the throw, everyone's going to hate you.
Yeah.
It's like, man, it's like, talk about an insane, like, job description.
Yeah. So is this going to be OPI?
Good for marketing. That was a hell of a throw.
No, it's on. My stream just decided to cut off. Cool. Looks like a DPI on Phillips. So how are you going to commit DPI and give up the catch? Like, that is probably the most like embarrassing play for a defensive back. Like, if you're going to grab him. Like, like, don't give up the catch. Like, if you're going to grab him, you better tackle his ass. Like,
yeah, it's one of those, like, if you're going to, like, the worst thing in basketball is giving up the and one.
Yeah.
If you foul him, foul him.
Just
like, don't let him get the bucket too.
Yeah, yeah. Like if you're gonna go, like go for it. Like don't
It's Falcons are trying to keep the Dolphins from their march.
Yep.
And we're at
in
the
the red
point of the
zone
show
now.
where they're talking about the contract extensions.
Yep.
But you know, I feel like that's a great time for me to go and take
Yes, please do.
my break a little bit because
Mhm.
we don't have Jack Strand out there.
That's right.
So,
Yep. So the hype is
I'll do Jack Strand's next drive.
yeah.
Because
Temporarily.
the Dolphins are close.
Yeah, they're probably going to go to commercial though. So I mean, you're probably safe, but
True.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, you could miss Jack Strand greatness. I mean, you never know. But I mean, they could get a pick right now, right, and then just Jack Strand's on the field immediately. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, I need to see Jack, especially I need to see him bounce back a little bit.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, it's crazy that they gave these guys
nice run stuff there on 3rd and short. So they're going to get a 4th down opportunity. You probably already seen the 4th down, but
No, it's happening this week.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I know some JTB in the chat noticed Natrone Brooks playing safety again. Like, wonder why. I think it's because they just have a lot of slot corners now that they like. So they're like, all right, well, put Natrone back at safety. That was his college position, if folks remember. So
They have a Carlos Washington Jr. out there as well, who was the loser of. I think that's that Carlos Washington, right? The guy that was.
Is this the Carlos Washington revenge game?
Unless it's another Carlos Washington Jr.
I mean, I don't know of any. Yeah. Falcons had the opportunity to shut that play down, and they just didn't do it. So it's disappointing. It's probably the same Carlos Washington Jr. I imagine.
It is. It's the same Carlos Washington, and what's throwing me off is the NFL's website has him as a rookie, and it's like, no, that's just incorrect. Like he's not a rookie because he was in Falcons camp the last couple of years.
I think this is his 3rd season, maybe his 4th.
Yeah, this is definitely a revenge game for Carlos Washington. It all comes full circle, right? Like Nick Carter beat him out for that RB3 job, and now Carlos Washington's on the opposite sideline.
Yep.
Essentially watching Nate Carter lose the RB job.
Yeah. Look at that. That's a decent little run defense rep there from James Pierce. Not played the run particularly well this preseason, I would say, but it's kind of curious that like he's their guy for like goal line, I guess. I don't think that would probably ever happen in a real game, but whatever. Not necessarily the guy I want not necessarily the guy I'd want, another again, there's Carlos Allen again. So, hey. Good stuff, Carlos Allen. Carlos Allen and Josh Woods.
Oh. Very
it's close.
Very the 3rd stringers are in there, and you can tell that they're the 3rd stringers at this point. I'm actually just gonna spoil that one. It was a straight drop. It should have been a touchdown, I think, against Clark Phillips, but Theo Weiss Jr. out of Missouri dropped it. Had a chance.
Yeah.
Dropped it again.
Yeah, they clapped it. A little too much clapping going on there to catch that one.
Yeah, it was on 3rd down too.
So 4th down. Yeah. Okay. So opportunity here for the Falcons defense. Yeah.
Also, I hope that they're not going to make this a thing on the actual broadcasts. I'm seeing, the down and distance, and then underneath it, you see a commercial. Like, no offense to Montlick and Associates, the law firm.
I don't give a shit about Montlick and Associates. They better not be on my monitor. Yeah.
It's distracting. Like, it's a little distracting because it's kind of like interfering with the line of scrimmage a bit, and it's like, how much money do we really have to milk? Do we
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
need every blade of grass? Do we need every inch of the television to
Yep.
just be another like advertisement? It's making me lose my mind in the NBA as well, and this is another one of my Jeff Van Gundyisms,
Yep.
where you now see it and they're like imposing, like digitally imposing on each court like a new advertisement for like this movie or for this, and it's like, do we really need this?
Yeah.
Like, why can we not like leave something pure? Why does everything have to just fall under like the depths of capitalism? Because I remember teams back in the day used to utilize that space like specifically on the court for their like own logos or for their own like secondary displays or something like that, and it's just sort of an like they've already come after the jerseys. Every jersey has like a new corporate sponsorship. God knows how long it'll be before the jersey look like they do in Europe in the Euro
Right.
League, where it's just
Right.
like all like sponsorships, and it's just like it's that like the incessant corporate sponsorships and the incessant like gambling commercials are just they're just getting to me at this point. Like it's just exhausting at this
It
point.
is. It's kind of ridiculous, and you know, um, shout out to FanDuel for sponsoring the show, by the way. We're not immune from this, okay? Like, not trying to be in a glass house or anything, but yeah. I mean, I agree with you. I think they got to keep it off the field. They got to keep it off the screen as much as possible. I mean, it shouldn't affect the game. It shouldn't affect our ability to see what's going on or anything like that. But a nice stand there. The Dolphins extremely fortunate that was a false start because James Pierce Jr. was completely unblocked on that fourth down, and that would have been, I feel like he was about 2 steps away from the quarterback when they blew it dead. So, yeah. Dolphins very fortunate because they were going to get their quarterback murdered on whatever play call that was. But Falcons, Dolphins quit the false start, and then, of course, it's a field goal instead. So, Kevin, you shill. Yeah.
The Falcons right now have to be the team that a third string quarterback wants to face least in the preseason, because it'll be like the second, third quarter. You'll be out there playing against the team's third stringers, and then by the way, it's also James Pierce, who the Falcons need out there for his own reps, and it's also James Pierce against your fourth string right tackle. So yeah, best of luck with that, because he'll probably be in the backfield time in and time out, and I'm sure like it's a really poor situation for these third string quarterbacks that are also trying to put something on tape, where a guy is just able to kind of break your offense almost single-handedly, the way we saw TJ Watt do against the Falcons a couple of years ago, as I referenced, the way that I hope TJ Watt doesn't do in week 1 this week as well. But it's not great. It's not a great situation.
Yeah, not a great situation, I think, is a good way to describe it. But I mean, again, we would have never seen anything like this from Raheem Morris, where they're like, oh yeah, JPJ's not going to play for 8 weeks. Let's just get him out there and get as many snaps as we can. Like, that's a good idea. Like, that's just a good idea. Like, who cares if he gets roughed up a little bit? Like, I mean, he's not going to play for 8 weeks. Yeah.
You can't blame the Falcons for it at all, but man, it sucks for the other offense.
Yeah. Is that Mike Ford Jr. returning kicks? I haven't seen him do that in a while. I think they're just like letting him do it for funsies at this point. They're just like, anybody want to return kicks? Get out there.
Hey man, at this point in the preseason, you might as well.
I mean, honestly, like, I wouldn't be shocked if Mike Ford is like the 6th corner just because of special teams. It's just like, oh yeah, like Clark Phillips hasn't exactly like, impressed. A lot of penalties on the Falcons' return units tonight. Almost every return has had a penalty, so it's not great. Not sure what that one was. Looked like a hold of some kind, but yeah, Stefanski's like, what the hell? I think the Falcons disagree with that one. But
we
yeah.
disagree. We disagree.
Yes. I strongly disagree with this. All right, it's another Another Jack Strand series here, Adnan. So buckle up.
All right, this is what's kept me. I've been holding it, by the way. Like I am holding it for Jack Strand at this point. I
Yeah.
needed to use the bathroom 10 minutes ago.
Yes. So it looks like the Falcons pulled.
Knowing my luck, it's gonna be a long methodical drive. Like they're
Yeah,
gonna
just
go,
like a 15-minute like clock killer.
they're
We're
gonna
trying to get
finish
out
the
of
third
here.
quarter. It's gonna be the commercial.
Yep.
We're
yep.
gonna like come out of it. It's gonna be like an 18 play drive.
Yeah.
That goes
Methodical.
like 78.
Yep. We'll see.
Well,
Looks like.
it doesn't bode well that they started with 2 straight runs and they have it on 3rd and 1. So we genuinely
Yep. Seems
I genuinely need to go. Like I.
It's okay.
Need to
It's
go.
okay. I can tell you what happens if you want. If you want to step.
No,
But I feel
no,
like
no,
maybe
no,
now
no.
you're committed. Now you're committed. So
At this point, I'm committed.
yeah.
I actually I should have gone when the Dolphins had the ball.
Yeah, in hindsight, but we don't know. I mean, maybe they could have got a pick. We don't. It looks like
Yeah,
Matt Carter
hindsight,
a little bit roughed
2020.
up there. Hopefully he's okay. Cash Jones now in the backfield.
Look, man, I never did this for Desmond Ritter. I never did this for Matt Sims. I never did this for Kurt Benkert. Jack Strand's a different. There's levels to. Oh, okay, all right, never mind. Yep. Series is over.
Yep.
It's
They
over.
tried,
Yep.
to, they tried to sneak it from like a long one. I don't.
I thought he got it, but then he didn't. So yep, never mind. Crisis averted.
I-
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest. Brockermeyer is not a center I would try to sneak behind. He's very small. Honestly, I feel like Brockermeyer has kind of shown that he doesn't have the size to hold up in the NFL. But, yeah, this is a bold call to try to sneak it. On 3rd and like a long one behind James Brockermeyer. I don't think Brockermeyer is the center that can pull that off personally.
Not even Strand could do it, and he's like a big guy that had
Yeah.
an impeccable sneak record coming in.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of need that was a terrible punt from Bailey. So even the special team's starting to struggle here, but yeah,
Just one of those at this point. All right, yeah, I'm gonna leave you
go for
to
it.
and
Go for it. Yep.
I'll be back with a drink as well.
Mm-hmm. Some fanciness. All right, guys. I think the Falcons have resolved. I mean, this is not a good sign if you are hoping the Falcons are going to put Jack Strand on the 53-man roster, because it seems to me right now that they're trying to hide Jack Strand and like not have him even throw the ball. They're just calling a bunch of run plays. To me, that signals that they're trying to hide him, which I think it's too late. You can't put Pandora back in the box. I mean, so don't really get that personally, but I guess we'll see how the rest of this game plays out. We still got more than a quarter. I mean, they might just be trying to evaluate the running backs or something too. I mean, you never know. This isn't really about the game. I mean, Brockermeyer's the same size as David Andrews. I don't think Brockermeyer's as good as David Andrews, Corey. That's kind of what I'm saying. He's a small center. A lot of them, a lot of them get. Falcons are leading 17-9, slim. About 4 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter here. So we'll see. The Dolphins have elected to have the punt done again, which I think is a mistake, but Bailey, much better punt this time. I think they net less yards than the penalty on that one, so I think that was a unwise decision to have him repunt that. I think that was very dumb, personally, but whatever. Yeah, Bailey delivered a much better punt. He doesn't usually punt poorly, so I was like, I'm glad he got to re-kick it. Good for him. Hold on one second. Excuse me. But yeah, we'll see if they give Strand some opportunities to throw the ball. It seemed like they wanted to run on that drive. It was 3 straight run plays, so including the sneak. So I don't know. We'll see if that sort of modus operandi continues in the second half here. or not. But we'll get another peek at the defense here. So see how that looks. Is Riley Mahlman still here? Yes. Yes. But you bring up a good point in that I don't ever remember seeing Riley Mahlman. So I don't know if he's hurt or what's going on with that one. But all right. Still commercials. Hopefully see some game action here soon. But yeah, with the Latin, drop the Latin on you guys. I know this is the third quarter. Third quarter Latin. But yeah, I know somebody brought up Oktoberfest on the last show, so I had to get my I think I mentioned this one on the last watch party, my Jack's Abbey, the Copper Legend Oktoberfest. One of my favorite Oktoberfest. Very affordable too. It's like Jack's Abbey's very economical beer. Not sure why it's so cheap, but it's good. Good beer. Definitely check it out if you like Oktoberfest. It's not like a super dark Oktoberfest. It's more of a gold. So if you like really bready ones, it's probably not going to scratch that itch, but very easy drinking Oktoberfest. Nice beer. All right. Finally get back to the football here in Miami. Hopefully not incredibly warm down there, although I imagine that it probably is. Lovely. I think the high today in Syracuse was about 72. Loved that. It was nice day for that. You can get it in, I think Jack's Abbey is like, you should definitely be able to get it in Pennsylvania, I would think. I guess it's from Massachusetts, but I think you can get it all over the Northeast. So I think you should be able to find it. It's a pretty major brand. Pretty major brewery. All right, here we go. Dolphins max protecting there and getting that play off to Jalen Reagor, who's still playing. Not really rotating their receivers a whole lot. Seems like a lot of their top receivers are still out there. Kind of, it looked like the Falcons were basically playing the run with the way they rushed there, and Dolphins basically left everyone in to protect, and Kobe Bryant got cooked. So, more of the same there. All right. And much better defensive play there. Zach Harrison, Keyshawn Banks, Zach Harrison and I think it's Davern Rayner, the linebacker, combining to get that nice run stop for a very minimal gain. So we'll see how the rest of the defense can respond. As long as Kobe Bryant's not getting cooked downfield, they seem to be doing pretty good. So. All right. 2nd and 8. And the Falcons let the quarterback break contain. Looks like there was a kind of irresponsible stunt there. Nobody left on the edge for Gronowski, who picks it up with his legs pretty easily. So, guys got to keep that gap integrity. Got to be careful when you're stunting. Yeah, Sample went way around the outside, and there was no linebacker home there. So, easy run for a first down for Gronowski. Jack Velling is at least making the... Yeah, I mean, honestly, Corey Carr, I think he is. I think he's been... Josh Simon seems to have fallen out of favor with this coaching staff for whatever reason. So, definitely seems like Velling is getting just a drop from the Dolphins running back, who was wide open. Channing Tindall left him completely uncovered and tried to get down. I think it was maybe even the fullback, but... I think it was the fullback or a tight end. I'm not sure. Not a great play by the Falcons defense there, but they didn't let the quarterback run for a first down, so there is that. There is that. But as we're getting inching closer to the fourth quarter. Nice tackle by Josh Woods. But yeah, see if the Falcons can get a stop here. Shut this one down, not give up any more points. Hold on to that 17-9 lead. I do think Josh Simon's not making this roster. We haven't even seen him in this game yet. And again, we don't really know how Stefanski does things. It's possible that he's more like evaluating guys, and they're not necessarily playing the strings. Because we know James Pierce is not like a third stringer. Another quarterback run there. Another mistake on a stunt. It looked like the Falcons are. As long as the Falcons are going to keep doing that, they're just going to keep taking the easy yards. So, got to be a little bit more disciplined there. If we're just going to give him a wide open alley up the middle, then it's not gonna go very well. So. Good for Gronowski, getting some positive plays in there, get some good tape out. Iowa quarterback. As we inch ever closer to the fourth quarter. Again, Falcons playing the run well. Looks like a nice safety blitz from Natrone Brooks and Marlon Tupulatu combining. And I think that's going to do it for us for the third quarter. So Dolphins driving back into field goal range. We'll see if Riley Patterson can keep making kicks. Certainly couldn't do that with the Falcons, but maybe he can with the Dolphins. I don't know. Strand would have scored. Yeah, there you go. That's right. Adnan's trying to pull some kind of incredible drink, I'm sure. Because, he's like, oh, man, I was hyping this up. I got something stashed away here. So I can't come back with just a, Coca-Cola. So, yeah. How's it going, Adnan? Because people are like, oh, he must be, mixing up some, witch's brew back there.
So I do have an admission to make.
Mm-hmm.
I actually couldn't take the Falcons preseason anymore, and I tried to escape.
I tried to exit the room, and the doors were locked. Dave locked us in. So yeah.
I was going to say the rabid dogs that Dave stationed outside pulled me back. So it was like the most dangerous game where I played the character of Rainsford, and I tried to go and Dave was out there waiting. He sucked his he sicked his hounds on me like Mr. Burns.
Yep.
And they actually pulled me back. So
yes.
Yeah,
how foolish it is to try to escape the Falcons preseason. We signed that contract in blood for a reason. So,
look, man, what can I say? I'm now chained to the radiator down here as well. So
they have those in Georgia.
They do now, actually.
They do. Yeah, we've got there. Yeah, we have the technology.
Actually, God. I hope one day someone from OSHA just happens to be watching the show and just
they'll be like, "Oh my God, what is happening? Yeah, do you guys need help?" Yeah,
they just call Gina or someone at SBA.
We have something to report. Yeah,
well, it was false imprisonment is actually the charge that we're investigating.
Yep.
No.
Dave's in New Hampshire. He couldn't possibly do this. So yeah, or could he?
Not that you would think. Yeah, no, I actually had to clean up a spill, which was one of the reasons why it took me so long. But
it happens.
Yeah, my drink that I brought is actually chocolate milk.
So that's pretty good. That's a good one.
Milk.
Yep, Horizon. Yep.
Where you can either do it via the straw or you can sip it, and I'm sipping it.
Yep. I do have AC, Corey. I have window units. Up here in New York, almost nobody has central air. Some like businesses and buildings do, but houses don't really have central air.
Can you? I never knew that.
Yeah, so I have window units, and I have a window unit in my office here. I have a window unit in the bedroom, and then Falcons give up another first down catch. This version of the defense not looking so hot. But yeah, I've got like a couple. I've got like three. I've got like a big AC unit that's for like the whole first floor because we have like an open floor plan on the first floor. So that is like a massive like window unit that has like a whole rig built around it, and that cools the whole first floor. But otherwise, I have like smaller window units for like the bedroom and we have a guest room, so if people are in there, we have another one, and then I have one in this office here. They work like really well. Like as someone who lived in Florida and was like a central AC like purist, I was like, yeah, actually the window up here it's not as hot, so like the window units do fine. But
I had no idea you guys had no central AC. That's kind of crazy.
Like new construction would, but like there's a ton of like my house is from the 30s, so there's no like central air ducts or anything here, and the heat is like the like actual like metal radiators that like have like steam pipes all through the house. There's like a boiler in the basement that like heats the steam and it like heats the house. It's actually really efficient and it works really well. Just praying that nothing ever like breaks because I don't know that anyone knows how to fix this thing anymore. But yeah, I mean they do. There's still people that know, but I'm sure it's not cheap. But it actually works really well. But yeah.
They're very old. And
yeah. I do worry. Yeah.
Then it's lost forever.
Yeah.
Gronowski just had the worst play of all time for a quarterback.
Man, he just got wrecked also.
Yeah, a terrible snap from the center, went over his head, had a chance to recover, couldn't. Yeah. And then like just got crunched like a pretzel. I mean, like I was.
That's why Cam Newton didn't go for that fumble.
Yeah, his knees were going. Well, that was a Super Bowl. This is week 3 of the preseason.
Yeah. He's like, yeah. No. Man, he got.
Yeah, he walked up limping in. Yeah, that
Poor
was.
Guy. Yeah, he's like, I'm okay. Can of corn, I'll be fine. Can of corn.
Yeah, that was very.
Yes.
Again, I don't envy people playing the quarterback position, especially people playing the quarterback position on like $100,000 salaries for the year.
Yeah, exactly. Like
they're making less than your local like CPA accountant, and the accountant isn't getting hit like that.
Yeah, my taxes are complicated. My CPA is getting well compensated. So
I was going to say that they're getting hit hard by the industry, and they're getting hit hard by busy season, but they're not physically getting hit hard like that.
Yep. But nice play by the Falcons defense, capitalizing on another. That's 3 botch snaps in this game that have all led to turnovers. So, 2 botch snaps and then another fumble. So, yeah, if I didn't have a snow shovel, I'd live in a pile of snow. I mean, it does snow a lot here. I will admit that, and we have like 25 to 30 steps. I live on like a hill, so you have to there's like steps up to the front door, and it doesn't take as long as you'd think to shovel it. But you got to do it like if you're not familiar with snow, you got to do it like there's like a timing to it. Like you want to wait till the snow is stopped because otherwise you're just gonna have to go do it again, But if you wait too long, it like hardens and becomes really difficult to move. So there's like a sweet spot within like an hour, like a few hours after the snow is done. It's like still nice and soft. Like honestly, it doesn't weigh like anything if you time it right. Like it also depends on the type of snow. There's different types of snow, people. If it's really wet and like heavy, then it's gonna suck no matter what. But sometimes it's like really light and like fluffy, and it doesn't really weigh anything. And you just kind of clear it off, and it's great. But yeah, I do have a snowblower too, which is like a fancy machine that clears it. I just can't use it on the steps. So if it's that bad, I'll just like go out of the garage. Which fun story, like my garage, I can't actually park in my garage because our driveway is so narrow that you can't really get your car in. It's like, I think it was made for like Great Gatsby cars, like in like the 30s that were like very narrow because there's no way. Like I can get in there. It's very uncomfortable. I just can't open the door. Like, so it wouldn't really like help me, to be in the driveway, but you can just like snow blow out and then clear out cause I have to park on the street, and you can clear out your car with your snow blower and it just blows the snow off to the side. And the snowblower can do up to like 24 inches at once. So, as long as it's not like catastrophic, that's usually a good way to deal with tons of snow. But Jack Strand's playing, so we're going to talk about that now. And it's another run. Yeah.
If someone opened up the YouTube video of us the 3 hours, and they just like pointed to any random point, like just like hit anything, there was about like a 55% chance they would just hear us talking about something like completely random and
Yeah.
obscure away from the game of football.
Calligraphy, snow removal, beer, overabundance of gambling ads. I mean, it could be anything, or it could be Jack Strand. So, second and long. So, I mean, maybe we'll get a pass attempt here, maybe not, but it is a little pass attempt.
I think Nick
Cash
Hughes
Jones
had a hell of a block though on that.
Yeah.
No, that's Bellin. That was Bellin. Sorry, I'm getting my large white tight end.
There's a lot of white tight ends out there right now, so it's kind of hard. Falcons have like 4 white tight ends this year, so it's a lot of them. All right, we'll see if they can convert a first down. Jack Strand hasn't converted one yet. It's another run, and they do not convert it. So
they're not letting Jack Strand.
No, they're not even letting him throw it. Yeah, it was like even that pass to Cash Jones was like just a little dump off. I guess they're gonna go for it. No, they're not. They're not going for it. Yeah, they're not letting Jack play. Yeah, they're just like, go out there and hand it off. I guess they're trying to hide Strand, which the cat's out of the bag. Like, I mean, or maybe maybe it's that they've seen enough Adnan and they're like, we don't really need to
But
nice second effort there from Cash Jones on the
punt return. Rush. Why'd you let him go out there and play? No, I don't. I hope that this isn't them being like we're gonna successfully manage to stash Cash Jones on the practice squad because we're not gonna show any tape. The tape's out there. Teams have seen this. Quarterback's too valuable for you to be able to successfully do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I feel like they're just sort of we've seen enough. So maybe that's more what it is. I mean, I don't know, but I don't know why you would prescribe this. The Dolphins are clearly playing the run. I don't know why you wouldn't just let I feel like it'd be better if you could sustain a drive. But I don't know. I'm not really sure what the idea behind this is.
I think that they think that they're gonna be able to hide him, and I don't. That's not happening.
It's too late.
Even that first preseason game, he was really good. Despite the fact that the stats weren't great, he had the 2 most impressive throws of the night that were incompletions. You're not. I hope they don't galaxy brain this and just put him on the practice squad and then sort of just lose him for nothing.
Yep. Because I feel like if someone wanted to claim him, they probably already decided they were going to go that route. Not giving him throws tonight is not going to change anything. And at the end of the day, the chances of him, I think a lot of fans don't get this, and I'm not trying to call anyone out. It's just, do you guys understand how many people get cut on Sunday? Because I know it's you're going to cut 40 guys, a little less than 40, 37 to be exact. I think it's 1,200 players get released on Sunday. So there's a lot of guys that are available on the waiver wire. So it's not oh yeah, there's the teams are looking at 10 guys to consider. It's there's an enormous amount of players that get released. Only a handful ever get claimed. But I do think the risk isn't worth it to me because what I don't understand the point. It also might be that they've already made their decision on Strand and so it doesn't really matter. That could also be the case. I mean, so we don't really know, but looks like the Dolphins quarterback is still healthy. Good for him. Another nice play, this time by recent signing Eric Johnson II. Veteran defensive tackle who was with the Vikings for a few years. Nice little tackle for loss there. Oh, never mind. It's a defensive hold on a run play on the Falcons. So I feel like those almost never get called except against the Falcons defensive line. They have I guess it was on, or maybe no, it was Devonta Maxwell that made the tackle, excuse me. But I think it was Eric Johnson who had the penalty. So I somehow got the right player, even though he wasn't even in the frame. So we just stumbled into that one. So great start for the defense, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
We're at the point where it's time to just like wish the game away. Yeah, I just
no
the clock. There's like over 10 minutes left, and I'm like, how's there over 10 minutes left?
Yeah,
that's so long.
Yep.
I think.
Yeah, I know. I feel like we've been here forever. Yeah, this is purgatory.
This game was in like the first quarter.
Yeah.
And it's just slogged away.
Yeah. It is.
I will say, though, from a fantasy football perspective, Atlanta is going to be a very sort of difficult team to evaluate going into your drafts. And I know there's plenty of drafts this weekend, and then next weekend is Labor Day weekend. So I think the majority of drafts still haven't been done yet. Just because you don't know what Penix is going to look like coming back. And also, we don't know what his tendencies are going to be exactly. You know, we have an idea. You can sort of guess, but I don't think the sample size was too great, the last couple of years. Where, I mean, obviously, Bijan Robinson is going to be a top 2 pick. Him and Gibbs need to go in some order, 1 and 2. But it's like Kyle Pitts. He's been getting targeted a lot this preseason, but by Tua Tagovailoa. Is Penix really going to use him as that security blanket, as that sort of like go-to? I mean, we know he's probably going to utilize like Drake London as the first read, but it's, is he going to utilize Drake London as the first read enough to where you're possibly taking him over a Justin Jefferson or a George Pickens, in the second round? Is he going to go after Kyle Pitts enough to where you're going to, take him over a Tucker Kraft or Sam Laporta in the mid rounds? I think that's his like
horrible missed tackles there by the defense, by the way, like 3 of them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very bad. Great. I mean, good for the running back. Good little screen pass. But yeah, I think there's a lot of question marks with Penix and how, not in terms of like the play. I mean, in terms of the play as well, but in terms of the tendencies too, to where how comfortable are you really going to be with some of these Falcons? Is Jahan Dotson going to be draftable? Is he going to be sort of that Darnell Mooney type wide receiver too, where you take him maybe out undrafted and he ends up giving you a very good season? But obviously that was with Kirk Cousins. So a lot of interesting stuff to look at when it comes to this Falcons team from a fantasy perspective as well.
Yeah. So the Dolphins are just like putting Jalen Reagor, who's like one of their top receivers, just like randomly out there so they can like try to get a big play. They've done it again here, and he absolutely cooks Malcolm DeWall, and just like the throw is off target. Or no, actually I think just Reagor can't pull it in. But
Jalen Reagor is, God, I still can't believe the Eagles took him over Justin Jefferson.
Crazy.
In that draft. It sucks that that's his legacy, but it's also like, man, the better Justin Jefferson looks, the like more people are going to be like, man, really? They really did that? And I know the Eagles won a title, and I know they'll say they don't care. Their fan base is going to say, oh, they got A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown was not and is not Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
And also that they also spent another first-round pick on him. But, man, like, can you imagine if that team cooked Jefferson, which was obviously the thing to do at the time? Like, even when Reagor got drafted, it's like, really? Like, go over Jefferson? That was kind of crazy.
Yeah, that was very crazy.
Vikings are very fortunate that the Eagles had the galaxy brain pick of the century with that.
Yeah. They don't usually make that type of mistake, so, Nice play there by Eric Johnson. He kept his gap integrity there. Made sure that Gronkowski could not run for that first down, so great job there. That was the first time they've done that all night. But yeah,
right there.
Fundamentals that nothing gets us going here on the Falcoholic Live presented by FanDuel, like fundamentals. So
my favorite basketball player, Tim Duncan.
There you
the
go.
big fun simple. You know, just
Yep.
we want a flashy dunk now. We want an elbow jumper off the glass. They're all worth 2 points.
Yeah, it counts the same. Counts the same. But yeah, you mentioned the fantasy angle. Like, I would honestly say I think the Falcons are one of like the easiest like fantasy offenses to draft because it's all going to be like siloed into like 3 players. It's like Bijan, Drake, and Kyle Pitts. Like those are the 3 guys you want. You know, those are the 3 guys you want. It's very simple. They're going to probably dominate the touches. But you're right. Like there is uncertainty around like how good they can be, but I sort of feel like 50% of fantasy is just like the target share, and those guys are all assured of like a large target share. So,
I mean, I think for me, it more so depends on like what's the opportunity cost of taking them where you're taking them. Where I think we have an idea of what Pickens is going to be in Dallas. You know, we have an idea of what, we don't have an idea of Jefferson, but we've seen what Jefferson has done, and you can imagine that he's just going to like go to the moon with Kyler Murray now, who's been targeting him relentlessly. I think just the fact that we haven't seen Penix out there at all, like in terms of the preseason or in terms of 11-on-11s up until recently, it makes it tougher to evaluate where in the second are you comfortable taking Drake London? Where in the mid rounds are you comfortable taking Kyle Pitts? Because there's like a group of guys that are there where it's like, you know, do you take will the uncertainty factor help someone else win out in taking him over Drake London? Like, for example, like a Brock Bowers. Like you can imagine Bowers is going to be like the guy over with the Raiders, and we know that Kirk Cousins really likes utilizing his tight end. Would you take London over a Brock Bowers, for example? You know, just like that. That's the uncertainty that I'm sort of like looking at just going into the drafts.
yeah, no, that's a good point. Like, I think it's I feel like Drake is going to be good. Like, so I'm comfortable taking Drake as like a 2nd-round pick in a standard league. I think in Superflex sometimes you could get him in the 3rd. I'm also very high on Brock Bowers, so like yeah, that's an interesting dilemma for me because this year I think like if you can come away with like Trey McBride or Brock Bowers in like the 3rd to 4th round, that's like a big plus. You know, like you get a real advantage at tight end versus the rest of. I feel like all the rest of the tight ends are sort of like the same. Like I don't like it's either like get those guys or go for like Tucker Kraft or like Isaiah Likely in like the 12th round and then like, you know, be happy. But yeah, I think Drake is going to be good. Like Kyle Pitts to me, I always draft Kyle Pitts when people are down on him, and people are not down on him right now. So I don't usually get Kyle Pitts in a year like this, but I think he'll like deliver like round value essentially. But that's usually not my draft strategy. My draft strategy is usually like try to draft guys like at plus value. So, and the runs continue here for Jack's draft.
That's a good strategy, but tight ends in particular are going to be so. They're always sort of grouped in like their own tiers in their specific, and you know, obviously you have McBride and Bowers, but then you have like Loveland and Warren together in like that next tier of like the 4th, 5th round. I actually hate the idea of taking one of those guys because I feel like you're really taking those guys at sort of the peak a little bit. And then, you know, you have your Laporta, Kraft, and Pitts, you know, a little bit further down. And then if you go past that, you're just punting and taking one of those like high upside guys after that.
Yeah.
And I feel like I always get trapped in those middle rounds a little bit where you don't get the like guy that's like, you know, the guy, and you don't like punt completely. And, you know, I don't know. It's just like the value is there to me. Like, not the value, but it's like the Green Goblin mask of like, oh, you need a tight end in your lineup. It's like, it's a big hole there. It's a 7th round. Like, how far do you want to wait? And I feel like it would be better to just like wait it out a little bit.
Yeah, no, that makes sense to me. They finally let Jack Strand attempt to pass, and it's just like a play action dump off, and then Wanya Morris holds to wipe it out. So,
they're not letting him be great.
I mean, this isn't even like there's not even an attempt. Looks like Khalid Kareem just had a sack for the New York Giants, by the way. So shout out the GOAT. Friend of the show, Khalid Kareem. I wish Khalid would have come on. It would have been a friend of the show. And then like, yeah, so there, I don't really get it. I feel like you should just like let Jack Strand just throw it a little bit, but clearly they don't really want to see that. They want to see them run this football. So, maybe it's just the game plan tonight. Maybe that's what they're looking to see. But
yeah, Jack Strand just threw an unfortunate interception
yep.
right into the hands of Nate Carter, where it went off his hands, went off his helmet, and then the Dolphins get it. So pick that on the stat sheet is on Jack Strand, but it is completely on Nate Carter.
Yeah, and that's more of a Nate Carter interception. Hit him right in the hands. So, and even that was not a downfield pass on like a 3rd and long. I mean, it's just like maybe it's like a protection thing. They're like, oh, we don't want you dropping back and taking a hit. Like, I mean, but come on, man. I mean, yeah, Nate. Oof. Well, that's probably the mistake that ended Nate Carter's slim roster chances. Just a bad play. Bad play by the former UDFA. Hate to see it.
Yeah, that was. I don't know. That's why you can't look at just the stat sheets either.
Yeah.
You have to sort of, because you're looking at it like, oh man, Jack Strand had a horrible day. Not many yards, threw the interception, and it's like, no, that was completely off the receiver. That hasn't really thrown the ball much. So,
yep.
Maybe the Falcons are hoping that 32 GMs are just looking at the stat sheets and they can sort of just like,
oh yeah, this guy sucks. Yeah. Oh, we can't claim this guy. He had a terrible 3rd preseason game.
Oh brother, this guy stinks.
Oh no, we suck again. Cash Jones catches that. Yeah, there you go, Rod. Yeah.
Yeah, not a great look for Nate Carter. And I mean, talk about a complete 180 in preseasons for Nate Carter last year, just like coming out like gangbusters and winning the job from Carlos Washington Jr., who was the favorite and who had those injuries, which kind of derailed him a little bit, to now being the hunted, so to speak. And Tyler Goodson coming in and essentially snatching his RB3 chain.
Yeah. No, I think Carter's honestly lost this. I think he's lost his spot in Atlanta because I think Cash Jones has been more impressive for the practice squad. So, yeah.
No, for sure. I think you're completely right. And I mean, talk about a fall from grace.
Yeah. Falcons given a lot of snaps to Braylon Trice too, which is good. Didn't get to play much. Missed the first 2 preseason games. So, and there he is getting a pressure. James Pierce, of course, getting another sack. I think that's 2 sacks on this series. So, it's like watching like a high schooler against a JV, like a varsity edge rusher, going up against a JV player. So which is what it should look like for a guy that you're hoping is like a double-digit sack player again this year. Of course, he's only gonna have 8 games to get to double-digit sacks, odd and on, so it's gonna be a little tougher this time. But maybe he can still do it.
It would be very impressive if he did. It would be very impressive if he got double-digit sacks in 8 games or 9 games. I feel like the fan base would be crowning him as the second coming.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, the thing about James Pierce Jr. that the biggest thing that hurts him right now when it comes to the suspension isn't him missing out 8 games in his sophomore year. It's not even the fine that he's going to get because these 8 games are unpaid. It's the fact that I think now his contract is fully unguaranteed after because he got suspended. So that's a really rough situation to be in as a young player. Now, it's going to be a moot point if he continues, setting the world on fire. And the next couple of years, he plays really well. And, if he continues on the trajectory that we saw his rookie year, he's going to sign like $115 million contract with like 90 million guaranteed, and none of this is really going to matter about the unguaranteed contract. But if he gets into more trouble off the field, now all of a sudden you're looking at it like, okay, if he is causing you a headache where it's not worth it via his play, he could potentially look back and be like, damn, like I really left potentially over $100 million on the table.
Yeah.
In multi-generational wealth because I just couldn't like keep my head screwed on straight. So I definitely hope that this was the last of the off the field incidents, and I'm sure his agent has spoken to him about it. You know, I'm sure Ian Cunningham, Kevin Stefanski, Arthur Blank have spoken, Matt Ryan have spoken to him about it, that you have to stay like spick and span when it comes to the off the field stuff. There should be no other like tolerance for anything else.
Right.
And hopefully this will give him that motivation of, hey, you have a chance at really setting generations of your family up if you just sort of like, keep your head on straight, and if you just sort of do what you're supposed to, and if you continue playing it at the level that we saw last year.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's got to, keep his nose clean, as they say, right? That's like an old adage, but just fulfill your diversion program, do everything you need to do, make things right, come back, get your head in the game, and you'll ooh, nice return here for Vinny Anthony, getting this thing past the 50. So Jack Strand doesn't even have to do much now. They just get 10 yards, and it's Nick Folk season. So you cannot stop Jack. You can only hope to contain him. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, but yeah, great opportunity here for the Falcons to. Anthony's been I will say, Vinny Anthony been a much better returner than I expected. Because he's like a 4-5 guy, but as we've seen, speed isn't everything for a returner. It's more about the vision. So vision and contact balance, but yeah, now the Falcons with a great opportunity here, under 4 minutes to go, to ice this preseason game away with a little drive here.
They're going to get a first down. They're going to make Jack Strand kneel the ball 3 times.
He could have scored again last week. They ended that one early. So
yeah, it's I don't know. I'm disappointed with the way they've deployed Jack the Ripper out there.
Yeah.
All they've done is rip my heart out.
All right.
We got a nice little false start.
Hey, love to see it. At least we can't blame Jawan Taylor this time, right?
I really hope he figures, like, because he was doing that like all game. He got called for it once, but you can't give the refs free rein.
I wonder if they just he's just trying to lull them into a false sense of security with it. He's like, if I just keep doing this, they're gonna get used to it and they won't call me. It's like,
that's
bro,
what happened.
You don't need to do that. Yeah, you don't need to do that. So,
but also I think it's a dangerous game where the official can call you anytime you do it, and if you do it every time, you're letting the official call it on you whenever he wants.
Yeah. All right. Let's see if the Falcons can overcome this pre-snap penalty now. Actually giving Jack Strand a pass attempt, but no one's open, so he's going to have to take off running and get only a yard. Don't know why he went down there. I feel like he could have got more, but also maybe, who cares? It's preseason. You just need to keep the clock running.
Well, if I'm watching the box score, Tua did enough. He's the next coming.
That's right. He's locked up QB1, and
Jack Strand cut him.
Cut that bum. Yeah,
let him on the team playing tonight. That's what
right.
The box score says.
Yep. Someone asked about Riley. Yeah, somebody asked about Riley Mullman. I think Riley Mullman's out there now, right? So, technically, still exists, or maybe he's not. I don't know. No, I think he is. He's out there at left tackle. And then there's a nice pass, getting this to the first down marker. Jack Strand going to Juice Wells. Love to see it. He and Juice Wells definitely have a thing. They've got some good timing going. Honestly, like him and like every receiver, like it kind of doesn't matter. Like he's like Keelan Marion, good, deep catch. Vinny Anthony, deep catch. Juice Wells, deep catch. He just needs to get one of these tight ends on like a 40-yard bomb, and then we'll be cooking. So we'll see. But
no, there's no chance. Like, I think you're right. I think they are genuinely hiding him, and I hope that that's not the case, because it's too late for that. The toothpaste is out of the tube at this point with Jack Strand. If we're talking about it, I guarantee you NFL coaches know about it.
Yeah, we're not the sharpest tools in the shed, guys. I mean, thank you for watching, and but I don't think either one of us is like trying to put ourselves in the echelon of like NFL evaluators. Maybe me, sometimes like around the draft, I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm a real smart cookie, look at my draft rankings or something. But we try to like put in the effort, and like, but we're not like, GMs, right? We're armchair GMs. I got my arms here. So, I would hope that the NFL would be a little bit sharper than us, but as we've seen sometimes, they're really not, right? Sometimes we are like legitimately smarter. So maybe it's just because we use common sense. I don't know.
Honestly, common sense isn't too common. Like, some GMs are just genuinely like, I'm the smartest guy in the room. And I think that's a dangerous mentality sometimes, because most of the time you're not.
No. Don't have to overcomplicate things. I know what the joke you were trying to make was, Solaire, so I'll read it the way you intended. Solaire with the $2 says, my nickname for Strand is Death Stranding, which is a great video game, by the way. Norman Reedus plays the main character. So from Walking Dead fame. Also a very strange game, but just like all of those, it's the same guy that made Metal Gear Solid or whatever. So those are always a little weird, in a good way. But
I'm not too privy up to the movie references. I haven't played the video game references. I haven't played games in a while, but also when I did, it was always like Madden 2K.
Yeah, more mainstream. I got you.
Yeah, the mainstream, like the sports games mostly.
Yeah.
Like, I had a friend talk to me, like ask me about if I'm excited about GTA 6, and I'm like, I don't even have a game console for it, so not really. But I'm happy for all the people that are gonna play and enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm a big PC gamer, so I get to spend all the money on my computer, and I get to use it for the show too. So really, two birds, one stone here. That big $700 graphics card is equally good for streaming as it is for running games in 4K. So great stuff.
An investment.
Yeah, big investment. Thankfully, I got it before all of the computer part prices went absolutely batshit insane this year. I feel bad for anyone that's trying to buy a computer now. Apparently, all of the RAM has been bought up for the next 2 years by the data centers, the AI data centers. So shout out for the irresponsible use of RAM. But all right, looks like Jack Strand now. As the Falcons are not really blocking very well here for this version of the offense. As
Kevin Stefanski told him, don't block for him either. We got to hide him.
Yeah, just like a unblocked guy off the edge here, just easy. Or no, not unblocked. Antoine Wells just blew the block. Excuse me. Antoine Wells just totally whiffed on that one. So big loss for Cash Jones on the first down play. So,
I take it they're not going to let Strand uncork one for the fan base.
They better. If it gets to fourth down, man, just send it. I want to send this. Send it into the stands. Yeah.
Hail Marys.
Yep. All right, we're inside the 2-minute warning now. So. Looks like Jack Felling maybe gets that into semi-reasonable third down territory. So
we're in the home stretch. It's gonna
Yep.
be a
Did the
third
Dolphins use a
game.
timeout? Okay. I guess they're taking this seriously, Adnan. Yeah.
Uh, oh, I completely didn't even see that it was a one possession game.
I guess technically it is, yeah. But I mean, the Dolphins are only capable of scoring field goals, so really it's like a 3-possession game. No, I guess technically it's two. Technically it's two. Yeah, but yeah. Yeah, I do Bobby Titus with the shout out to the NFL Stock Exchange. Definitely my favorite draft show. So shout out the NFL Stock Exchange. People like they just finished up, I think, their whole summer scouting series. If you're looking at the next the Strand Keeper there, easy money.
I'm telling you, this could be the year. If this team starts out 1-3 or worse, the first four, like they better be at least 2-2 if they want any. Even in my when I predicted 6 wins, I have still predicted 2-2 to start the season.
That's true. You did. Yeah.
The ones against the Panthers and Saints, so obviously I'm underestimating the NFC South. I'm doing the meme. Oh boy, good thing every team in this division sucks, and it's all 4 teams thinking that.
Thank God they all suck. Yeah.
Thank God everyone sucks but me. But if this team is 1-3, I'm down for some September draft talk and draft takes because I don't think they're recovering from 1-3 genuinely.
Right. Yeah. It'll be a tough hill to climb. I mean, I guess now the Falcons are just gonna kneel it out. So yeah. Got to secure that preseason dub. Yeah.
Because the thing is, after I think the first 4 games are very manageable. It's you can win any of those games. Packers will be tougher. Micah Parsons won't be there, but the Steelers, Panthers, and Saints, and then after that, the schedule really starts to hit the hard part. You can't go into the hard part under 500.
No, so I mean, we'll see if they can figure out a way to beat the Steelers in Pittsburgh. They have never done so far, but the Packers without Micah Parsons, probably the best case scenario you could hope for to play the Packers. It's manageable. We'll see how they navigate that. That'll be big, but I do think it's probably going to be a rough first month of the season. I hope they can find a way to win regardless, but it is ultimately it is a new offense. And I think it's going to take a little while for this thing to be firing, so it may just, yeah.
That's the other thing that sort of adds to the pessimism a little bit. Tua's coming back. He may be rusty a little bit. You're right. It is a new offense. And the start of the season, you really have to get a couple wins, genuine, because by the time everything is hitting in stride, all right, well, it's the Bengals, it's the Ravens, it's the Chiefs, it's, the Lions, the Vikings in Minnesota eventually. The schedule is really difficult this season. And, honestly, that's fine because I'd rather get it out of the way now and play the easier schedule next year.
Yeah, yeah. No, a lot of hugs being exchanged between Tua and various Dolphins coaches and staffers. So clearly a lot of folks there still with strong ties.
Mike McDaniel isn't there, so
Mike McDaniel not among them. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. 2 preseason victories tonight in this season, Adnan. It's pretty crazy. Feel like we've entered a time warp to when this team, wasn't just the worst preseason team imaginable. So pretty crazy stuff. But
we're popping the champagne tonight. It's big August 28th win.
Yep.
So good for the team. It's good for some of these guys that are on the roster bubble. And now, Sunday looms like a dark cloud over, every NFL team and every player on the roster bubble because it's one of the imagine an industry-wide layoff that just completely takes out 1/3 of the entire industry in cuts. And, unfortunately, that's the nature of the business, and that's sort of what a lot of these guys are facing. And I don't envy that. I
No.
don't envy the idea that, oh, this could be my last weekend, on an NFL team. For some guys, their, dreams are gonna evaporate of being, professional NFL players. And then, some guys are going to bounce back, and some guys are going to be signed to the practice squad, which is good. Good for the NFL for expanding the practice squads. But it's tough. Like when you don't make a roster, it'll just get tougher the next year because you have another like wave of young players that are just entering the league. And apparently, but apparently now they can go back to college too after they enter the league. So who knew?
Right. Yeah. Anything is possible now. Yeah.
Anything is possible. So hey, man, maybe these guys that get cut, maybe they can go back to school.
Yeah. Anything is possible, as Adnan said on this program. No, guys. It is interesting, and it's obviously very sad. I think Sunday is probably the worst day of the NFL calendar because a lot of guys' NFL dreams will end. About, like Adnan said, a little over a third of all NFL players on rosters will be released, and only a handful will get claimed, right? So, it's the good news is like the UFL is a thing, and that's kind of like a refuge for a lot of these guys, so some of these guys will get UFL opportunities now. So it's nice that that's there. Like maybe some of them go back to college, unironically, some of them maybe do that. It seems like college is not super happy about that. So don't know how long that will last, but yeah.
I'm not going to lie, man. That is the college football is the Wild West right now. I'm really happy that players are getting paid, and I'm pro like NIL, but with the portal and with some of these rules, I feel like, and with college football expansion too, like they want to expand it again. I feel like college football today is completely like unrecognizable from what it was when we were growing up, or from what it was even 10 years ago. Like it's a completely different world right now.
Yeah. So it's pretty wild. So we'll see how this pans out. It's obviously an interesting time for college football and the NFL. But guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us through this third and final Falcons preseason game here against the Dolphins. Pretty fun first half. Second half was a little boring. They didn't let our man go out there and dominate the way he should have, but finished with a strong like end of game drive, right? Very efficient. When they finally let him like throw it more than like 3 yards downfield, had some nice passes, and I feel like this is a sign that they've mostly made up their mind about this roster going into this game, which, to be fair, most teams do that. Like the third preseason game is probably going to get axed soon in exchange for an 18th game. This is kind of the way the NFL's going, right? But still an interesting one. I feel like I'm a little bit more confident in some of my roster projections and maybe a little less confident in others, but I do think they can't let Strand go, and I really don't think that they will. But we'll have to see how it pans out, because if they let Strand go and he ever turns into something, that is something that will haunt them forever.
It'll be a reckoning.
Yeah.
I imagine the cut Strand and he turns into like Tony Romo.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, like at that point, no matter what Ian and Stefanski do, it's like, because it's clear to us, like, well, we see that, like, okay, this dude is worth at least developing and keeping as a QB3. It's not like a diamond in the rough type thing. Like, if we can see it and you can't see it, then that's a problem.
Yeah. So, I don't think we're going to have to worry about that. I think they will either keep 4, at least temporarily, while they figure out what to do with Tua and Cooper Rush, or they just keep Strand as the third quarterback, and then Cooper Rush comes back on the squad and is more or less their actual QB3, but, is kind of technically on the practice squad because no one's claiming Cooper Rush, right? I mean, I just don't think that's going to happen. So I don't really see any need to risk Jack Strand, and I don't think they will. But several other interesting battles that I'll be talking about. Should get that show up for you guys maybe within a few hours. We'll see. But yeah, I think the big story coming out of tonight, Adnan, is that feels like that Tua really had to just go out there and not make a big mistake, and maybe he did have to play like well to lock this thing up, but I think Tua fumbling another snap was probably the most damaging thing he could have done today. And I think I think Michael Penix is going to be the week 1 starter here. I think the door has been left open intentionally. Tua hasn't taken this job and run with it. He didn't do anything impressive tonight. I mean, you look at the stat line, you're like, oh, that was pretty good, but 3 air yards per target, 70-something% of the yards were after the catch, and then you got the fumble. And I think he missed a touchdown opportunity to Austin Hooper and threw it behind Jahan Dotson to prevent what would have been a first down catch. I mean, I don't think it was a sharp game. I think it wasn't anywhere near as bad as the Broncos game, but turnover and then not really doing anything interesting with the snaps that you did have. I feel like the writing's on the wall here.
A couple weeks ago, I made a dynasty trade in my dynasty league. And it's a trade that I was like excited about in the moment, and I'm more excited about it now. And I'm going to explain why. I traded Josh Jacobs, the Seahawks, Rashid Shaheed, in a future 3rd round pick. And I got a 2027 first rounder for it. And 2027 drafts, like, now the stuff is coming out about Jacobs and the suspension, feeling good. Here's why I feel really good about it. It's a super flex league. And my opponent, the guy whose pick I got from that, he has 2 quarterbacks. Well, 3 if you count Drew Lock, but I don't count Drew Lock. He has 2 quarterbacks. He has Jalen Hurts, and his QB2 in super flex is Tua. And I feel great right now because I don't think Tua is even going to play a game at this point. And it's a super flex league where he doesn't have a quarterback, and I feel like this pick is it's going to be a gold mine for me next season. And I feel like that may have been solidified the second that Tua dropped that ball today, because like you said, I feel like it would have been better for him to throw a pick. I think a pick 6 would have been okay, it's a pick 6 preseason. Maybe the defender made it, jumped the route, made a great play. But you could not have a fumbled snap. Even if he fumbled it in the pocket, where someone came off his blind side, maybe Taylor missed a block and he just got blindsided or whatever, but it could not have been a fumble. You could not fumble a snap. It's just, we've seen this unforced error too many times so far, since training camp began. And for you to commit it again, it was incredulous. I'm incredulous about it. It was egregious. It was awful. And I don't care what the stat sheet says. He had less than 4 air yards per throw. Just because you dump it off to Kyle Pitts and, Drake London has a great block and Pitts takes it 37 yards, that doesn't mean that it was a great play by the quarterback. That was just, him doing what he was supposed to on that play. And to lose that snap, I feel like the quarterback competition is sort of over, which is crazy given the fact that Michael Penix just didn't really need to do anything to win it.
He was just like, I guess it's mine. There. Okay, I'll take it. Yeah, sure. Everything was set up for Tua here. To at least have this job for the first month. All he had to do was look decent. But, obviously the Broncos game, he didn't get a lot of opportunities. It wasn't good. But, he didn't get a lot of opportunities. Today, got, 3 drives. You have the turnover. And, you just need to show people that you can do something. And, it's just, man, I think Warren Sharp's been just torching Tua on Twitter for his, preseason performance. 2.8 air yards per attempt overall this preseason, which is 82nd out of 82 quarterbacks quarterbacks with like at least a certain number of attempts this preseason. So he's the lowest air yards per attempt of any quarterback in the NFL this preseason. And since 2000, he's 507 out of 508. So, and like,
God damn. That
yes.
do you know how much trash has been out there in the preseason since 2000? That's 26 years of UDFAs, of guys who've never seen an NFL field, of guys who've never even been good enough to be on the practice squad. That's genuinely nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing that Tua did tonight that is interesting in any way. And I imagine that the Falcons are seeing the same stuff. I don't think it's a guarantee that Penix gets this job still. I think, he has to stay healthy through the rest of the preseason, like the rest of the week. But he has every opportunity. I think Tua has done very little to and did the one thing he probably couldn't do, which was fumble that snap. So sad to see it, but it's the way it is. And I think at the end of the day, it's better that Penix starts. We've said this basically all offseason, that it's more advantageous for the Falcons to get a full evaluation on Michael Penix. And we can only hope that he's ready for week 1, because what we've seen from Tua is nowhere near good enough. Despite every advantage in this competition, he's really not done anything to separate himself. So not to say that Penix is going to be great or something. We don't really know. I mean, I hope that he will be quite good, but we just don't know yet. So we'll have to see how that goes. But guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight, breaking down this Falcons vs. Dolphins preseason game. Please do like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Appreciate you guys tuning in to the Falcon Live presented by FanDuel. And Adnan, anything else you want to talk about before we sign off here on our final preseason game of the 2026 season?
Fun preseason. I can't wait to get it going with the regular season, even though, I'm a hashtag certified hater and I don't think it'll be a great season, but it'll be great, being with the community and going through it with the community. And, if they've missed the playoffs, 9 straight years, what's another year? Let's make it an even decade at this point.
Yep.
And, let's not become the Jets, who are, I think, going on year 14, and there just is no end in sight for them. But yeah, I will shout it from the rooftops. This team needs to either make the playoffs or the bottom needs to fall out. I think a 7-win season would be an absolute disaster for this team this year. Like a 7 to 8-win season with this draft class being what it is this year. You can't have a 7 to 8-win season where you're picking in like the teens, and you for damn sure cannot, be 4-9 and then win the last 4 games in a row. Like that, to me, I don't care about the argument of, oh well, you don't want to think about the team culture. The team culture with this franchise is the culture of losing for 60 years, and it's a culture of humiliation. You're not changing that with 4 meaningless wins. But I'm just going through my own former PTSD from this team, which happens sometimes. But yeah, it'll be a good season. I'm looking forward to it. Or am I? Maybe I'm not. But I'm looking forward to enjoying it with the people. Shout out to the people.
That's right. Yeah, hopefully they'll be better than expected. But Falcons in line for a tough week 1 game against the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. Maybe the Pittsburgh Steelers offense will be the one that ends up turning the tide of this one way or the other, because I think it doesn't seem like Aaron Rodgers has his head in the game to me, based on his media circuit lately. But we'll see. He kind of looks washed last year, to be honest. So yeah,
he's going into the retirement tour, and Aaron Rodgers is a legend. Good for him for reconnecting with his parents from what social media has shown. Look, honestly, I'm more worried about the other side of the ball than I am about Aaron Rodgers. I think if that defense is as good as it was last time they played against the Falcons, Rodgers doesn't even need to be, great. and they'll be able to just game manage that game away. But I just hope that the Falcons offense comes out and is very serious in that game, because it'll be rough to get off to an 0-1 start this season, because I think week 2 you have Carolina coming in, like you mentioned. Like, this team just can't beat Bryce Young. Like, I've talked a lot of shit about Bryce Young, but hey, when he faces the Falcons, he just turns into prime Cam Newton, 2015 MVP Cam Newton. That's just what the Falcons make Bryce Young look like. Then after that, you go to Green Bay, so it'll be really advantageous to win that first game.
Yeah. So, I think they should try to do it. Let's get it done. And maybe the Falcons defense will end up being the difference in that one. And maybe you just lean on Bijan and just let Bijan take you home. And Bijan and play action, and don't try to do anything too fancy downfield. Just kind of wear them down and take advantage of their own mistakes and go from there. But, guys, a lot of fun this preseason. Nice to see actually a handful of wins for once. So we appreciate you guys. Thanks again. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Getting closer to 10K subs, almost there. And then, we'll be back. I will have a roster projection for you guys either tonight or early tomorrow morning. And then we will be back next week to break down the 53-man roster with Trayshawn Diaz, and then have Aaron Freeman joining us on Wednesday for his final roster takes as well. And we'll be getting into week 1 after that. I imagine early next week we'll get an announcement on the starting quarterback. I mean, probably late next week at the very latest, but we'll see. We'll see how they decide to do this. But I think we all know that the end result is probably not going to be Tua Tagovailoa. But I don't know anything about Kevin Stefanski. We've seen this man for a few months at this point. For those doing the Falcaholic Fantasy Leagues, we're going to get those set up over the weekend. Make sure you're paying attention to the sleeper leagues, because we may either collapse them or we may need to move people around depending on how stuff is. So keep your eyes on there. Make sure you're updated. Make sure you're in if you're in the leagues already, just make sure you're paying attention. If you're not, we'll make sure to send out the join links through the appropriate Patreon channels and YouTube channels and all that. And the draft should start on Monday, probably Monday morning. If not, it'll be, Monday evening or Tuesday morning, and we'll try to get that. It'll be a slow draft, but we should get that, usually it takes a few days to wrap up, so hopefully it'll be done relatively quickly. People are usually pretty good about it. But in the meantime, guys, thank you so much for joining. Yeah, we appreciate you guys hanging out. He is Adnan Ikic at Say Which Way. I'm Kevin Knight of Falcaholic Kevin. Thank you so much for tuning into the Falcaholic Live presented by FanDuel. We will see you guys. Bobby, if you want to play, fill out the form. If you want to play, fill out the form. That's fine. We can still get you in. Or if you're already in the league, that's fine. Just fill out the form. The form is mostly if you're already in the league, we just want to make sure you're down to play again, so we don't have someone that's in the league that's not interested in playing. That's all. So I don't, you're fine if you still want to join. But yeah, guys, thank you again for hanging out, and we will see you guys next time here on the Falcaholic Live. So for the two of us, thanks once again. We'll see you next time. Have a great night, folks. See ya.